Hey everybody, have you heard about the Drunken Peasants Patreon? It helps support the show while getting you some cool perks. Check it out! For $1 per month, you get to use our exclusive fan chat that appears at the bottom of the screen on every episode. For $5 per month, you get 2 new private shows, including Actual Mania, as well as our back catalog of private shows, plus all lower tier perks. For $10 per month, you get all of our monthly video content. This includes multiple post shows, our monthly reviews, our back catalog of all that content, plus all lower tier perks. For $15 per month, your name will appear in the ending credits of each DP episode, plus all lower tier perks. For $25 per month, you get to take part in our monthly booking committee hangout to help us book our Patreon content for that month, plus all lower tier perks. For $33 per month, you get an exclusive piece of DP merch each month, plus all lower tier perks. For $50 per month, you appear in the opening credits for each DP episode, plus all lower tier perks. For $100 per month, you get to join us as a guest on an episode of the Drunken Peasants podcast. Plus, you guessed it, all lower tier perks. Visit patreon.com/DP now to become a patron of the Drunken Peasants podcast.
It pisses me off. Like, okay, I spent several years being patriotic. Fuck the haters, and that's how it is, YouTube. Nah, stupid fucking lighter. Fuck you. Stupid fucking lighter. Hey lighter, fuck you. Oh, you don't like being beat up. You don't like it. You don't like it. You don't fucking like it. Then maybe you shouldn't fucking go against the grain, stupid fuck. I'll beat you up, you piece of shit. God damn it! I broke my fucking cigarette. Fuck. Fucking social media doesn't give a shit. Fuck you. Fuck you fucking touching me, you piece of fucking shit, you. And fuck this. And of course my drink has to spill. I lose my fucking temper over these stupid fucking assholes. And no one's gonna feel sorry for me, because it's just like you did it to yourself, dude. You had a fucking drink combo and you had to lose your fucking autistic temper. Spill it for yourself. Fucking bullshit. Get the fuck out of my way, stupid fucking hat. Stupid fucking piece of shit fucking hat. Fuck you, oh it's here. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You fucking piece of goddamn shit. Fuck you, you stupid fucking bottle. Stay on the fucking desk, stay on the fucking desk, you piece of shit. Fuck you, I told you how many times did I fucking tell you to stay on the fucking desk. Fucking stay on the desk, I told you 1,000 times. Fuck you, fuck you, you stupid fuck. You wanna fall off the desk to be cute, and no one asked you to be cute, you piece of shit. Fuck you. I don't care if I got a nasty fucking temper. Fuck you. Stay the fuck in my hand, you piece of shit. I'll smoke you until you're dead. Fuck you. Don't care if anyone cited me, I'm fucking miserable. I'm just making the best of every day. That's all you can do, YouTube. That's all I can do. Temper, fuck you. Stay the fuck in my hand, you piece of shit. I'll smoke you until you're dead, fuck you. Don't care if anyone cited me, I'm fucking miserable. I'm just making the best of every day. That's all you can do, YouTube. That's all I can do.
In the beginning, there was nothing. And then there was the Drunken Peasants podcast.
I gotta get away with this. No!
Say, man, you got a joint? No, not on me, man.
I don't have facts to back this up.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
It's true. Sometimes I cry.
Oh!
Lick my butthole, he laughed.
From the strangest corners of the internet, here to bring you opinions of the world from an altered perspective. Here are your hosts, the Drunken Peasants.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Drunken Peasants podcast. This is episode 1367. Doing it live on a Saturday bonus show. And we got Jeff Holiday back again. How's it going?
Oh, hoy, hoy. How you doing? How you doing?
Ahoy,
I'm feeling
hoy.
pretty good today, man. Pretty good. I pre-gamed for about, oh shit, hang on. Let me do some
Doing your
math real quick.
passions project.
About 6 hours, yeah. Doing my my stream where I watch a soap opera with my buddy and we play a drinking game.
One of the weirdest soap operas, too. It is not As the World Turns or General Hospital. It is like psychedelic and it's also got like a supernatural element to it. It is very strange.
Yeah, like right now in the series. So like the mundane stuff is like one lady who's trying to get married to this one guy got way too drunk and fucked his dad and got married while drunk. That's pretty banal. There's also some people lost at sea, kind of crazy. But on the other side, Norma Bates, the mom of Norman Bates from Psycho, carrying around her father's skull in a baby Bjorn, is trying to kill a 300-year-old witch with an animated doll played by a little person.
Yep.
On an island with the Scooby-Doo gang. Like, it's fucking bananas.
I remember being a kid in the 90s and just like flipping through the TV channels and seeing that shit and seeing the little doll person. And I'm like, is that a little kid? Because it was hard to tell if he was like a 7-8-year-old kid or if it was like an adult, you know?
Yeah, it's a little person played by Joshua Ryan Evans.
Is he still with us? Is he still with us?
No.
A lot of those people unfortunately have some pretty short lifespans.
Yeah,
So.
he was 20 years old when he passed away in 2002, but he played Baby Grinch. And the show we're talking about is the soap opera Passions.
Passions. Yeah,
and it's fucking rad, dude. It's super rad. So once a month, the first Saturday of the month, we play a drinking game. We watch it live on my Twitch channel, and it's fucking bananas. So I'm trying to sober up a bit.
Oh, I'm not. Is that some King Crispy?
This is some Waterloo sparkling water, my guy.
I thought it was some beer. Everyone, please like the stream. Like the stream, and also, if you liked the intro song, it was made by Boglum Reacts. You can find it.
Hell yeah.
Just search up Boglum Reacts, and you can find the song and his other good content.
Oh, yeah. He's a quality fucking channel, for sure.
Yeah. Underappreciated. His channel should be blowing up like crazy. But you know how YouTube be. You know.
I do.
Yeah.
I do, for sure.
Yeah, so we got a lot of stuff. We're going to focus on this interview that Biden did with George Stephanopoulos, who used to be, he was Clinton's press secretary at one point.
He was. Yeah.
And this was Biden's chance at redemption to the public to be like, it was a one-off. I'm not like that.
I mean, I guess so. Like, so we keep running into this fucking problem.
Did you see the interview before you say what you're going to say? Did you see it?
No, I heard quite a bit about it, but it's the one thing I think that is important because like we're all very online and politics poisoned and shit is that like the vast majority of people, it doesn't matter how many likes something gets on Twitter, the vast majority of people usually don't see it. They don't understand. So, I mean, maybe because this is mainstream, it got to more people. Maybe I don't know. It was bad though, from what I understand. We'll get into it.
He says a lot of things that I would think Trump would say, or I've heard Trump say.
Really?
When deflecting criticisms, he says it in a more polite way, but the meaning is the same. We'll get into it, and I'll point it out when I see it happen.
Yeah, please do. Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
so we're going to play the intro, and then we'll watch this thing. Here we go.
Let's go.
He called me sir. It got me so human angry.
People are discriminating against wolves. Wow. They're laughing at us, at our stupidity.
And you better well learn to love it.
I'm just going to point this out. This is an interview with the president, so it should be fair game. I was shut down by evil Joy Behar on my last stream, but that's The View. That's like a TV show. This is a little different. This is the news. It should be fair use. So if the stream gets taken down, All I have to do is stop playing it, and we'll be back within like 30 seconds, just so you guys know. All right.
And also, before we get into it, I just want to say a big fuck you to Joy Behar. Eat shit, you suck.
I hate it when she feel like I watch it sometimes just to like hear what the those cackling harpies are saying, but like I'm okay with Whoopi. Like I like it when she's hosting, but they let Joy Behar fill in for her when she's not there, and that just ruins the show. Anyway.
From ABC News, a special edition of This Week. President Joe Biden, his first television interview since the debate. The news-making
I love the epic movie style, action movie style music.
Exclusive. Now reporting from Madison, Wisconsin, George Stephanopoulos.
Good evening from Madison, Wisconsin for a special...
I spent one night in Madison, Wisconsin when I was moving from Ohio to Washington. I spent that was my first day of driving, was from Columbus, Ohio to Madison, Wisconsin. And I got, like, there was a bar right next to my hotel. I got, like, trashed.
I've never been to Wisconsin. I've been to Wisconsin quite a few times.
It's one of the top party schools. Those northern states like Minnesota and Wisconsin consume some of the highest percentages of alcohol in the entire country.
I would believe
it's the cold weather is a lot of it. And it's like descending from like German culture and like those other like drinking cultures, like European drinking cultures.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Edition of This Week. The first broadcast interview with President Biden since last week's debate. Earlier this afternoon, we taped the 22-minute interview. There are no cuts, no edits. We have not touched it. At this pivotal moment in the presidential campaign, here it is.
All right, here we go. I don't know where they are. It's like in a classroom or something.
Mr. President, thank you for doing this.
Thank you for having me.
Let's start with the debate. You and your team have said you had a bad night. But your friend Nancy Pelosi actually...
Oh, there's one thing I notice about Biden. When he smiles, his ears go up like 3 inches on the sides of his head. I wonder if it's like all the like cosmetic surgery, like the facelifts or whatever. But I noticed.
Do you think he's had cosmetic surgery?
Oh yes, he's definitely had the saggy neck cosmetic surgery. Because if you look at the way he looked like 8 years ago, he had like that more of a saggy neck. It was like way more saggy than it is now.
She framed the question, I think.
Yeah. I didn't pay that much attention, but I guess that makes sense. Sure.
He's definitely had the laser teeth whitening too.
Sure. Yeah.
And look at his forehead. His forehead shows signs of Botox too.
He does have like a really smooth forehead
for an 80-year-old. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Yep.
Is on the minds of millions of Americans.
Oh yes, hair plugs too. I saw that posted in the chat. Absolutely. He had less hair in the 70s than he has now.
Yeah.
Was this a bad episode or the sign of a more serious condition?
It was a bad episode. No indication of any serious condition. I was exhausted.
So is the bad episode over?
Yeah. God damn it. I don't want to be mean, but this is really gonna put me to the test.
This guy is the president, and he is being given the choice, at least at this point, whether or not he wants to stay in the race, and he's saying he's staying in.
Yeah.
So the party would have to boot him to change that at this point.
They're not gonna do that, because once they manage to get away from open conventions and basically have a stranglehold on how the entire party works, and there's no way they're going to give that back up.
My instincts in terms of preparing, and I had a bad night.
Ear move.
You say you were exhausted, and I know you've said that before as well, but you came, and you did have a tough month, but you came home from Europe about 11 or 12 days before the debate, spent 6 days in Camp David. Why wasn't that enough rest time, enough recovery time?
Because I was sick. I was feeling terrible. Matter of fact, the doc's with me. I asked if they did a COVID.
The other day, someone in my chat made a joke that, Jimmy Carter, they should run Jimmy Carter. He only got one term.
He's only 18 years older than Biden. So, let Jimmy run. Who gives a fuck?
We were trying to figure out what's wrong. They did a test to see whether or not I had some infection, a virus. I didn't. They just had a really bad cold.
And did you ever watch the debate afterwards?
I don't think I did, no.
Oh, you should know! He should know about whether or not he watched it. Either he's lying or his memory is that bad. He should watch it. He should. Like when a football team does bad, the coach takes the team in the locker room and shows them where they fucked up.
Right. I'm trying to strongman Biden here. I don't want to.
You don't want to be like JF.
Well, we'll get into that later, but he's a busy guy. He is the fucking president and everything, but still, like, yo, bro.
JF is really busy covering up a murder and all. Oh, you mean Biden?
Both. Yeah, he's standing for Biden, which is very strange. Well, somehow somebody brought it up, so I'll mention it here. Modern Day Debates was doing a Biden versus Trump thing, and JF was standing for Biden. And he somehow, in like the 3 minutes I watched it, was making a case that Biden is better than Trump while also shit-talking the Jews. I don't know how he did it, but it was fascinating. Fascinating. Weird shit.
What I want to get at is, what were you experiencing as you were going through the debate? Did you know?
He's making the same face he was making during the debate while Trump was talking. Right here.
Mm-hmm. Know how badly it was going?
Yeah, look.
Listen here, Pat.
Yeah.
The whole way I prepared, nobody's fault, mine. Nobody's fault but mine. I prepared what I usually would do, sitting down, as I did come back with foreign leaders or the National Security Council, for explicit detail. And I realized about partway through that, I get quoted, the New York Times had me down at 10 points before the debate, 9 now, or whatever the hell it is. The fact of the matter is that what I looked at is that he also lied 28 times. I couldn't.
Yeah, and you're supposed to call it out. Now you're calling it out now when it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it mattered when you could confront directly him. Like, saying it after the fact, it's the same fucking stupid shit that I always have to deal with when it comes to like YouTube, pseudoscience and stuff. Like, it takes no effort for somebody to lie, but it takes 10 times more effort to call somebody on their lies and disprove it. The best you can do is call them to their face. Otherwise, it has no teeth. It has no fucking teeth at all.
I mean, the way the debate ran, not my fault, no one else's fault.
But it seemed like you were having trouble from the first.
Someone in the chat said, Ben's a coward for not doing a review of the first debate. Are you dumb? Because we literally reviewed the entire debate.
Yeah, I was pretty sure that happened.
Watched the whole debate from beginning to end. Are you just an idiot?
Question in.
Like what?
Spoke.
Well, I just had a bad night. You've had some bad interviews once in a while. I can't remember any, but I'm sure you did.
I've had plenty. I guess the question, the problem is here for a lot of Americans watching is, you've said, going back to 2020, watch me, to people who are concerned about your age. And, 50 million Americans watched that debate. It seemed to confirm fears they already had.
Well, look, after that debate, I did 10 major events in a row, including until 2 o'clock in the morning after that debate. I did events in North Carolina. I did events in Georgia. Did events like this today. Large crowds, overwhelming response, no slipping. And so I just had a bad night. I don't know why.
And how quickly did it come to you that you were having that bad night?
Well, it came to me as having a bad night when I realized that even when I was answering a question, even though they turned his...
I'm sorry. I personally can't get over how his ears move. Like, the skin of his face will move, and then his ears will go up.
Mic off. He was still shouting. And I let it distract me. I'm not blaming it on that. But I realized that I just wasn't in control.
But part of the other concern is that this seems to have fit into a pattern of decline that has been reported on recently. New York Times had a headline on July 2nd, Biden's lapses are said to be increasingly common and worrisome. Here's what they wrote. People who have spent time with President Biden over the last few months or so said the lapses appear to have grown more frequent, more pronounced, and after Thursday's debate, more worrisome. By many accounts, as evidenced by video footage, observation, and interviews, Mr. Biden is not the same today as he was even when he took office 3.5 years ago. Similar reporting in the Washington Post and the Wall Street Journal. Are you the same man today that you were when you took office 3.5 years ago?
In terms of successes, yes. I also was a guy.
Okay. As somebody who has dealt with a lot of dementia in their family and helped people that are dealing with it, worked with individuals that had dementia, the last person you ask to find out if they are showing signs of dementia is them.
Yeah, it's true.
Because I don't know if this is going to make sense to everybody, but if they have dementia, they can't tell you that they have dementia.
Right.
Because they have dementia.
Right.
Like, I'm sorry, dude. Like, that's part of it. I mean, there are moments of lucidity sometimes, but, you know, for the most part, 95% of the time, you are not going to have moments of lucidity and be like, ooh, you know what? I'm in decline. So, yeah, no, what a fucking stupid question.
I haven't worked with people who had dementia. I've had a couple older family members that had it, but one thing I've seen is some people who have dementia can be easily agitated.
Yes.
And I've seen a lot of instances where Biden got easily agitated by like reporters or like a heckler or whatever. And it seems like something that would have like rolled off his back, 15 years ago.
Sure. Absolutely. Well, and somebody saying my dad knew he was going through it. True, but you also have to keep in mind there's a difference between like, say you're home and you're with your family or you're in a place where you're feeling comfortable and you have the ability to confront that on your own time, your own merits, like not feeling pressured. And another thing, to be the most powerful human being on the fucking planet and somebody with a camera is asking you, are you in decline? Like, does anybody ever have a good reason to say yes? No. Like,
yeah, I mean, I mean, he probably doesn't think he is. I don't think he thinks he is. Maybe if a doctor gave him the diagnosis, but I think he's running from the diagnosis. He doesn't. We'll find out in the interview that he considers the work he does day to day as an equivalent to an actual psychological cognitive decline exam.
Right.
He's going to make a false equivalency as an excuse as to why he shouldn't take an actual test.
Together a peace plan for the Middle East that may be coming to fruition. I was also the guy that expanded NATO. I was also the guy that grew the economy. All the individual things that were done were ideas I had or I fulfilled. I moved on. And so, for example, well, that was true then. What's Biden done lately?
But I digress.
Today announced 200,000 new jobs. We're moving in a direction that no one's ever taken on. I know you know this from the days in the government. I took on Big Pharma. I beat them. No one said I could beat them. I took on all the things we said we got done. We were told we couldn't get done.
How did he beat Big Pharma? They're still around. They're still doing Big Pharma stuff.
Yeah, there's some pretty big landmark cases. And also, why would the president be the one that needs to take on Big Pharma? Like, that's not really how it should necessarily be tackled. He could speak on it, absolutely.
He can advocate for it, but it's up to the House and the Senate to actually pass legislation.
Yeah, I mean, before the Supreme Court ruling with Chevron, like, it would be up to the administrative state to find evidence and produce it, and then representatives basically enact policy based on that. But now that doesn't really matter because, the feelings don't care about facts anymore. So,
Part of it is what I said when I ran was I wanted to do three things. Restore some decency to the office, restore some support for the middle class instead of trickle-down economics built from the middle out and the bottom up. That way the wealthy still do fine, everyone does better. and unite the country.
But what has all that work over the last 3.5 years cost you physically, mentally, emotionally?
Well, I just think it cost me a really bad night, bad run. But, George, I'm optimistic about this.
Is the next debate after the convention, or is it still before it?
Nah, it's after the convention.
Wow. Oh, my God. So we're not going to get another one. We're not going to get another one to see if it was a bad night, which nobody, not literally nobody, but most of us don't think that's the case.
Yeah. I don't think anybody, if they're being honest with themselves, would agree that it was just a bad night.
I heard people try to suggest that he was over-prepared for the debate, and that's what happened. It's like, what?
I mean, that is possible to do, but that's not what happened.
Yeah, so being over-prepared made him fall asleep? I
don't think we're a country of losers, that he points out. I don't think America's in tough shape. I think America's on the cusp of breaking through in so many incredible opportunities. This next term, I'm going to make sure we have straighten out the tax system. I'm going to make sure we're in a situation where we have health care for all people, where we're in a position where we have child care and elder care, free up, and all these things. The one thing I'm proudest of is, remember when my economic plan was put forward, a lot of the mainstream economists said it's not going to work. Well, guess what? You now have 16 Nobel laureates, 16 of them in economics, saying that Biden's next term would be, based on what he wants to do, enormous success. Trump's plan would cause a recession, would significantly increase inflation. I've made great progress, and that's what I plan on doing, and we can do this.
I understand that, and I'm not disputing that. What I'm asking you is about your personal situation. Do you dispute that there have been more lapses, especially in the last several months?
Can I run the 110 flat? No. But I'm still in good shape.
Are you more frail?
No.
Don't give up on Biden just yet. Never forget, Corn Pop ran with a bad crowd. A bad crowd.
Yeah, and I also will never forget that the little black kids would touch his legs to watch the hair.
So good.
That story, yeah.
I know you spoke
my schedule.
I know you spoke with your doctor after the debate. What did he say?
He said, he just looked at me. He said, "You're exhausted." I said, I have medical doctors traveling everywhere, every president does.
Right, just in case they get injured. Like, in case there needs to be, like, emergency care given.
Yeah, and also, like, to watch for exactly the things that we're worried about, like, it is a thing that should be a concern. We do have this problem of, like, the nanny state mentality of, we can't be discriminating against people because of age or whatever. No. And I agree, except when it's, like, literally the fucking leader of the free world. And then I'll discriminate all fucking day. That makes me a shitlord, but, like, I'm sorry.
There are people in their 80s, even people in their 90s, that are more coherent and put together in their brains than Joe Biden.
Totally fucking lucid. Don't have these fucking issues. But
I'm not saying they're qualified to be president, but, like, one that comes to mind is William Shatner. You seen an interview with William Shatner? He's, like, in his 90s.
Super fucking sharp.
Yeah.
Dude. I would vote for Shatner.
Well, he's Canadian. He can't run for president.
Oh, yeah. Fuck, I forgot.
Yep.
Okay. Well, nobody's perfect, so whatever. It's fine.
I wouldn't vote for Shatner in his 90s. He's not going to last forever. That's crazy how, like, he went up into space, too. Like, at 90 years old, that's tough. Even on one of those, space liner type thing.
You heard about what he thought about going up into space, right?
What?
He said it sucked.
Of course. It's the most hospitable environment you can think of. Or inhospitable.
Most people go up into space and they're like, wow, space.
Oh, no, he was doing it, though. There's a video, and he's like, oh, my God, this is so beautiful. They were all looking down at the earth.
I know, but they asked him about it later, and he was like, it sucked.
It's rough on you. I mean, when you're 90 years old.
Medical doctors, some of the best.
Hater. I love him because he's such a fucking hater. It's hilarious.
In the world, traveling everywhere I go. I have an ongoing assessment of what I'm doing. They don't hesitate to tell me if they think there's something wrong.
I know you said you have an ongoing assessment. Have you had a full neurological and cognitive evaluation?
I get a full neurological test every day.
No! See, that is such a lie. He's trying to equivocate things.
No, that's horseshit. I'm sorry, Joe. That's no.
That's like something Trump would say.
Man, TV, camera, woman, computer, fucking
with me. And I've had a full physical. A
physical isn't a mental acuity test.
Yeah.
It's like they listen to your heart, they take some blood to check your cholesterol. Like, that's what a physical is. They cup your balls and make you cough. It's that kind of shit.
No, I mean,
Wait, is he saying he gets his balls cupped every day? Because if so,
not every day. No, he's saying his job as president is an equivalent to a cognitive ability test.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I've been at Walter Reed for my physicals. I mean, yes. The answer is
I know your doctor said he consulted with a neurologist. I guess I'm asking a slightly different question. Have you had the specific cognitive tests, and have you had a neurologist, a specialist, do an examination?
No one said I had to.
Yeah, they're not saying you have to. They're saying you should. And why won't you? What are you afraid of?
Right.
I'm fine with him getting a CT scan so we can see, like, are there tumors in there? Like, what's going on?
Right. It's strange. It's strange because, like, this whole mentality of wanting to keep incumbent people in as long as possible. Like, I kind of understand it to a certain degree, but a lot of times it just doesn't make sense logically. Like Ruth Bader Ginsburg, that didn't make any fucking sense. Right at that point in time, she should have dropped out. We could have gotten somebody else in. What, do they really think there's a chance that she might survive another 5 years? Probably not. Why not push her ass out? Should have done it. Same thing now with Biden. Like, it's not looking good. That this is hurting his chances, hurting our chances against Trump. Why continue to try and push this if it seems like it's going to backfire? And I'm still allowing for the idea that the pressure might get enough that they do convince him to put someone else in. We still have time, right? We do.
Yes.
We got 6-7 weeks.
There's a
before,
small coalition of representatives and senators that are a few that are remaining anonymous right now.
Right.
That are, yes, it's people are talking about it.
Right. And there is still a possibility that can happen, but I swear to God, man.
I'm good.
Would you be willing to undergo an independent medical evaluation that included neurological and cognitive tests and release the results to the American people?
Look, I have a cognitive test every single day. Every day I have that test. Every day I do. You know, not only am I campaigning, but I'm running the world. And that's not how it sounds like hyperbole. But we are the essential nation in the world. I don't know about...
Right. So this is why your job is so important and why you don't look too good. So you probably shouldn't be at the helm steering the ship right now.
It's why we have concerns, Joe. Like, Bud. Hey there, Bud. God damn it. It's not looking good, Ben.
Yeah, I am. I feel like I don't feel like it's just hurting his chances. I feel like his chances are buried in the ground, dead and buried in the ground. They were already slim before this happened.
I don't want to get too much into doomerish shit.
I'm not doomer.
No. I'm saying for me, not you.
Okay.
But for me, because it's really easy for me to fall into that kind of shit. So I don't know for sure necessarily. Polls can be wrong. Lots of shit can happen, but it doesn't look good. And
polls can be wrong, and that's why there's a margin of error.
Well, no, I know, but like when I talk about it, though, I make it clear that I say, like, specifically, in my opinion, I don't have the confidence in him running the country, which is why I would rather somebody else go up against Trump. Like, it's less about whether or not he can win against Trump. It's more like we really should just let him retire and, like, put Joe to bed.
That means Kamala's president. If he literally retires and leaves office.
Yeah, sure. Fuck it. Put Kamala in. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
It's fine.
That's right. And every single day, for example, today, before I come out here, I'm on the phone with the Prime Minister of, well, anyway, I shouldn't get into detail, but with Netanyahu. I'm on the phone with the new Prime Minister of England. I'm working on what we're doing with regard to, in Europe, with regard to expansion of NATO and whether it's going to stick. I'm taking on Putin. I mean, every day, there's no day I go through, there are not those decisions I have to make every single day.
And you have been doing that, and the American people have been watching, yet their concerns about your age and your health.
All right, he's like, I have a cognitive test every day. Okay, so the debate with Trump was part of your cognitive test, and you failed.
Yeah. Well, that was only one day.
Man yells at cloud.
Yeah. Right, exactly. Yeah.
So that's why I'm asking, to reassure them, would you be willing to have the independent medical evaluation?
Watch me there's a lot of time left in this campaign. It's over 125 days.
That's not a lot of time.
It is. It's not a lot of time in American politics, but literally anywhere else in the fucking world, it's a lot.
We're in America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should fix our whole election mentality and not have it be a big reality TV show. But whatever. I know he's not going to take the test. There's no way he's going to take the test. No way.
The right answer right now is no. You don't want to do that right now.
I've already done it.
No, you haven't. No, you're making a false equivalency and think we'll just like forget about it. It's so manipulative and dishonest. I can't believe it. I mean, I can, but this is the shit I expect from Trump.
Yeah, I guess so. Sure. Yeah.
It's just packaged better.
It's packaged better. It's more polite, but it's still the same old horse shit. You know. Yeah, I get it. I agree.
You talked a lot about your successes at the beginning of this interview, and I don't want to dispute that. I don't want to debate that. But as you know, elections are about the future.
Someone in the chat's like, relax about I voted for the motherfucker.
Yeah.
What? Is the rule of the chat you have to say dumb shit to like chat?
Well, no. I mean, like, I get. Well, I mean, okay. All right. Let me try and put it this way. I think that a lot of people are going to be amped up about this either direction that you go. There's no way to talk about this. It's going to make everybody fucking happy. But I mean, you're going harder on Biden than I am, but you and I both feel the same way.
Yeah. I don't want him. I don't want him around. I'm done with him.
Not the past. They're about tomorrow, not yesterday. And the question on so many people's minds right now is, can you serve effectively for the next 4 years?
George, I'm the guy that put NATO together, the future. No one thought I could expand it. I'm the guy that shut Putin down. No one thought could happen.
He's sounding like Trump in this right now.
Oh, no. He gets even more Trump-like later on in it. You'll hear.
The guy who did this, I'm the guy, unbelievable. Many people did not think it could be done, but I did it. I did it. Unbelievable. Yeah.
And he leans forward. He did the lean forward thing. Like,
yeah,
listen.
I'm really weirded out by this. Yeah.
Listen, fat.
Listen here, fat.
I'm the guy that put together the South Pacific Initiative with AUKUS. I'm the guy that got 50 nations, out, not only in Europe, outside of Europe as well, to help Ukraine. I'm the guy that got Japanese to expand their budget. For example, when I decided we used to have 40% of the computer chip, and we invented the chip, that little chip for the computer chip. It's in everything from cell phone to weapons. And so we used to have 40%, and we're down to virtually nothing. So I get in the plane against the advice of everybody, and I fly to South Korea. I convinced them to invest in the United States billions of dollars. Now we have tens of billions of dollars being invested in the United States, making us back in a position where we're going to own that industry again. We have, anyway, I don't want to take too much credit. I have a great staff.
But what you just said, you like orchestrated and created all of it.
Yeah. That's pretty fucking weird. I don't know. Somebody's asking, is it fair to say that Biden took the bait set by Trump by not taking uppers? I don't know, man. I mean, maybe, but that's like some theory crafting kind of stuff, right? I can't say one way or another on that. It does sound funny. It does sound kind of plausible in a really, really hilarious sort of way. So I don't know. Maybe. It's hard to make that determination. But why are Democrats so pathetic in not going after Trump having what is clearly syphilis? There are a lot of things that we should. We
don't know if he has syphilis. What?
He definitely has a mental illness.
Yes, yeah, but just not clearly syphilis.
There's good signs that he might suffer from.
That doesn't mean it's clearly. We have to stop reading the chat. I can't read the chat anymore.
No. But look, there is as much evidence that he has syphilis as Biden has sundowners. I mean, you could read into it, but neither of us are medical doctors, right? Why am I reading the
I guess my point
all
is
the
all that takes a toll.
I love all of you.
Do you have the mental and physical capacity to do it for another 4 years?
I believe so. I wouldn't be running if I didn't think I did. Look, I'm running again because I think I understand best what has to be done to take this nation to a completely new level. We're on our way. And look, the decision recently made by the Supreme Court on immunity, the next president of the United States, it's not just about whether he...
I mean, the ruling affects you right now, too.
Yeah.
Knows what they're doing. It's not about a conglomerate of people making decisions. It's about the character of the president. The character of the president is going to determine whether or not this Constitution is employed the right way.
Let me ask you a tougher, more personal question. Are you sure you're being honest with yourself when you say you have the mental and physical capacity to serve another 4 years?
Yes, I am, because, George, the last thing I want to do is not be able to meet that. I think
wanting it and being able to do it are two completely different things. He's going to position himself here as the only person that can beat Trump. It's not true. It's questionable whether or not he can beat Trump.
Yeah, very true. Very, very true. Yeah. No, I get it.
A senior economist and senior foreign policy specialist say, if I stop now, I'd go down in history as a pretty successful president. No one thought I could get done what we got done.
But are you being honest with yourself as well about your ability to defeat Donald Trump right now?
Yes. Yes.
You say that, and let me challenge you.
Sure.
Because you were close, but behind going into the debate. You're further behind now, by any measure. It's been a two-man race for several months. Inflation has come down. In those last few months, he's become a convicted felon. Yet you're still falling further behind.
You guys keep saying that. George, you know polling better than anybody. Do you think polling data is accurate as it used to be?
I don't think so, but I think when you look at all of the polling data right now, it shows that he's certainly ahead in the popular vote, probably even more ahead in the battleground states. And one of the other key factors there is it shows that in many of the battleground states...
I almost want them to start playing footsie with each other. They both have their feet.
Yeah. That'd be pretty great.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Hey, George Stephanopoulos, he's a handsome man. He got a nice head of Greek hair going on.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. The Democrats who are running for Senate and the House are doing better than you are.
Well, that's not unusual in some states. I carried an awful lot of Democrats last...
But the chat is just awful. Lol, so we must send donos to show our love.
Thank you.
Join in a tip train. P-O-O-T.
Thank you. And by the way, for those of you who didn't watch the last stream, we met the goal, so this is actually next week's goal.
Nice.
So we've already met the goal for this week, but if you want to send some in, we'll just get us closer to next week's goal, and we appreciate you all. Thank you.
Yeah.
Time I ran.
I do want to. You told me not to read the chat, but I gotta agree with Cheech, though. Trump is a PDF file. That's like fucking confirmed now. Absolutely fucking confirmed. The mainstream media doesn't want to fucking talk about it, and I sound so Trumpian when I say that, but like legit, they unsealed those fucking documents from 2008 that were sealed during the whole fucking Epstein thing. implicates Trump 17 fucking times. Is it on CNN? No.
We know he was partying with Epstein, like it's documented, so...
We've known it forever, but now there's even further fucking evidence.
Sure.
Further fucking evidence, and it doesn't matter because for some reason, even left news outlets will not fucking report on it, which is absolutely fucking insane. Trump is a fucking sicko, but,
fuck
I mean,
sickos.
Whatever. It's fucking crazy. Yeah, fuck sickos. Dude,
In 2020. Look, I remember them telling me the same thing in 2020. I can't win. The polls show I can't win. Remember 2020, the red wave was coming. Before the vote, I said that's not going to happen. We're going to win. We did better in an off year than almost any.
You also said you were going to win all the times you ran for president and lost. He's run for president. He's been running for president since like the late 70s. Yes.
Was it 70s? I knew
yes.
I knew it was.
There's a monologue from the Tonight Show that Johnny Carson did in the late 70s where he made fun of Joe Biden, who was running for president at the time.
Really?
Because he plagiarized a speech.
Oh, I do remember hearing about that. Oh my God, that's fucking funny. That's actually like legit pretty fucking funny.
Yeah, it was like a British politician. He like plagiarized his speech and just like repurposed it for like an American politician.
Become a president ever has done. They said in 2023, all the tough races we're not going to win. I went into all those areas, all those districts.
But by the way, I was wrong about it being in the 70s. The first one was in the 80s. The first time. Won. Yes.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. Yeah,
yes. Yeah, I double checked it.
And we won.
All that is true, but 2020 was a close race. And your approval rating has dropped significantly since then. I think the last poll I saw was about 36%. The number of Americans who think you're too old to serve has doubled since 2020. Wouldn't a clear-eyed political calculus tell you that it's going to be much tougher to win in 2024?
Not when you're running against a pathological liar.
You just lied here.
Still, dude, like legit. You still have to like be able to perform.
Yeah, I mean, like the pathological liar had already won before.
Yeah.
So
and then Biden won, and God, man.
Trump has demonstrated he could win. He beat the one of the most prominent politicians in America at that point.
One of the most hated politicians in America at that point.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you could say the same for George W. Bush. He was super hated and still managed to win an election. Oh my! George W.
So?
Dude, George W. Bush was so hated when he ran against John Kerry. They literally had a movie about his assassination that I saw in the theaters where they used CGI and played Bush getting it was a mockumentary, a fake documentary about the assassination of George Bush. I went and saw it in the theater because I was like super politically active in my 20s and was like, it's crazy to think at that point George W. Bush, basically Hitler in my eyes.
I get that. I'm talking about when he first ran. I didn't know anything about that. It was when after he became president is what made me start getting political. So but I mean, I wasn't surprised when he got reelected. It's incumbency. I was shocked that Trump lost his second term.
Right here, death of a president. I went to the premiere of it. They played it at an art cinema in Albuquerque when I was living there, and I went there to see it.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's a fake documentary about Bush getting assassinated and then how, like, things get even worse. They pass, like, Patriot Act 2, which is, like, even worse than the original Patriot Act because the president got killed. Yep.
Not when he hadn't been challenged in a way that he's about to be challenged. Not when people...
You've had months to challenge him.
Oh, I sure had months, but I was also doing a hell of a lot of other things, like wars around the world, like keeping NATO together.
We're doing wars around the world.
Anyway, but look.
Do you really believe you're not behind right now?
I think it's all the pollsters I talk to tell me it's a toss-up. It's a toss-up.
No. Who are the pollsters you're talking to? Because I look at all the polls and I watch the prominent pollsters on, the lamestream media, None of them say that.
I haven't really been paying that much attention, to be honest.
Maybe within the margin of error, it's a toss-up, but Trump has the advantage even with the margin of error.
Yeah. That sucks. He's a pedophile. He fucked kids.
Wouldn't be the first PDF file president that we've had.
No, definitely not.
Nope.
But it still sucks.
Sure.
That's terrible.
There's only one poll I'm really far behind. CBS poll and NBC, and
New York Times and NBC both have you about 6 points behind in the popular vote.
That's exactly right. New York Times had me behind before anything happened to do with this race. Had me behind 10 points. 10 points had me behind. Nothing's changed substantially in the debate.
People are like, "Oh, Thomas Jefferson." I'm talking about. Bill Clinton was an Epstein buddy.
Saying he was busy doing shit prior to the debate. It's documented he spent a week at Camp David preparing for this debate. This is him with a week's worth of prep time? Fuck.
It's sad. Yeah. But yeah, Bill Clinton was one of Epstein's buddies too. So so we've had a couple presidents recently that are on that list too.
True.
Yeah. So
I mean,
and I was a huge fan of Bill Clinton. Like I was a huge fan of Bill Clinton like when I was younger, because he was like the young president that that took us out of the Reagan era. You know, we had 8 years of Reagan and then 4 years of Bush Senior.
Reagan was pretty fucking terrible.
Yeah, well, Bush Senior was just a 4-year extension of the Reagan presidency.
Yeah.
And then
legit.
And then Bill Clinton comes in like in his mid 40s. You know, and no one thought he would win, and he won, you know, and he was charismatic and everything, played saxophone on Arsenio and all that cool shit. And I'll tell you what, he is insanely charismatic. I've seen Clinton in person before, and it was like a stand-up comedy routine. Like he had the crowd laughing the whole time. He's very good public speaker. But also more than likely a PDF file.
Oh yeah, undoubtedly, yeah, for sure.
I don't know about. I don't know for sure, about either of them, but
I do. No, I do.
It's questionable. Dude, when I was living in New Mexico, our governor Bill Richardson, he was on Epstein's list.
Was he really?
He's dead now, but yeah. It's funny. His name was Bill Richardson. But he totally is like a Native American looking guy. But his name was Bill Richardson. He was going to work for Obama. And then Obama at the last minute was like, no, you can't be in the cabinet. Because there was already weird shit coming out about him at that time. Look about Bill Richardson. He looks like a Native American dude. He was governor of New Mexico when I lived there.
Bush Sr. was in the CIA taking part in the JFK assassination. True. Very true. Yeah, absolutely. He was a spook.
A what? Dude, I think that's the wrong word you used.
What are you talking about?
That word is a racial slur, sir.
No, a spook is a name for a fucking spy.
Oh, really? Is that what it is?
Yes, dude. It is. Yeah. Absolutely.
New York Times poll.
Just when you look at the reality, though, Mr. President, I mean, you won the popular vote in 2020, but it was still deadly close in the electoral college.
7 million votes.
Yes, but you're behind now in the popular vote.
I don't buy that.
Wait. Hang on. This is important. Have people never heard that term for spies? Spook is CIA or FBI. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, spook. I mean, I'm not talking about the plaques. Although that works too, but that's racist.
Is it worth the risk?
I don't think anybody's more qualified to be president or win this race than me.
That is not true. There are plenty.
No. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, if Biden won by some miracle, there's still a chance Jimmy Carter would outlive him.
Yeah. That's true. That would be very funny. That would be very, very funny. The irony, but sadly, if that were to happen, that would be one of the funniest things to ever happen ever in the history of everything. and the whole humor of it would still
because he
be
could have
totally
been
lost.
president. Like,
Well, yeah, just the humor
it
would be
just
lost.
seems
on
like
certain
Jimmy
people.
Carter was too nice of a guy to stay president. And there was a lot of unfortunate shit that happened in the world with Iran and that kind of shit.
No, it was all Reagan, dude. It was all Reagan.
Well,
It was
Reagan
like-
crushed Jimmy Carter in that election.
Do you know why? Like this all got like
Yeah,
this all
because
got-
like we were leaving the 70s and entering the yuppie era of
Yeah.
America at that
there
point.
was a lot of reasons, but the hostage crisis is one of the major reasons. When it was polled later after Jimmy Carter was out, one of the major reasons why people didn't want to vote for him was because of his failure to deal with the hostage crisis. Now here's the problem. The problem is that the hostage crisis was actually already solved. Jimmy Carter negotiated the release of those hostages, but what happened was Reagan and fucking Kissinger sent over a couple of dudes with a bunch of fucking money to the fucking terrorists and bribed them to wait to agree to the terms until after the election, until after the results. So Jimmy Carter got those people home, but money bought Reagan the credit for it, even though Reagan had nothing to do with it. And even furthermore, there was another hostage crisis years later on Ronald Reagan's watch, and he utterly failed to get any of those hostages
Reagan
home.
also, he created these insane tax breaks.
Oh, yeah.
That America had never quite seen before.
Oh yeah,
and
he
then
gutted
also
our insurance system, our education system, our mental health system.
yeah, and then
Gutted
there was the overturning of the fairness doctrine at a time where there was only a few radio stations and only a few TV channels, and now propaganda, completely slanted propaganda, could be which benefited him. So that was part of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So media didn't have to be balanced. But prior to the Reagan era, you had to have both sides represented.
Sort of.
When it was punditry, it had to be. When it was like talk, like not news, but talk.
Right. And there's still like methods by which that can be kind of pushed, but there's so many loopholes to get around it. So it's kind of like a meaningless position to have. Even if we tried to reinstitute the fairness doctrine today, it wouldn't work. It wouldn't fucking work. Like, there's no way to do it without...
Media's different now, for sure. It's harder to regulate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
The heart of your case against Donald Trump is that he's only out for himself, putting his personal interest ahead of the national interest. How do you respond to critics who say that by staying in the race, you're doing the same?
Look at his face.
Come on, fat.
Well, I don't think those critics know what they're talking about.
They're just wrong?
It's wrong. Look.
It's wrong.
Trump is a pathological liar. Trump is, he is... Have you ever seen anything Trump did that benefited somebody else?
A pathological liar, if I'm correct, is a liar that doesn't realize they're lying. Like, they believe their own lies, right?
No. A pathological liar is somebody who has a compulsion that cannot resist lying.
Okay.
They might be aware of it. So, but yeah, it's like an addiction. It's an addiction to lying.
It's not him. You can't answer, I know.
I've questioned him and his allies as persistently as any journalist has.
No, I know you have. I'm not being critical.
Yeah.
I'm not being critical. But look, I mean, the man is a congenital liar. As I said, they pointed out in that debate he lied 28 times the times, or whatever number, over 20 times.
And you hardly called it out at all.
Talk about how good his economy was, how he brought down inflation, how this is a guy who, unlike only other president other than him is Hoover, lost more jobs than he created. This is a guy who told us to put bleach in our arms to deal with COVID, with over a million people died.
Yeah, and he said to nuke hurricanes, and he said all kinds of crazy shit, and he's still beating you in the polls. Like, if there was an inspiring political figure and we didn't have this weird line of secession in our political system, we could have someone that people that are willing to vote for can actually feel excited to vote for instead of just voting not Trump. Because that's all Biden is not Trump. That's how he got elected. I feel like the Democrats have this weird, almost like mafia style, like, oh, you're next in line, so we got to push you next. That's why Biden didn't run after 8 years as vice president, because it was Hillary's turn because Obama stole it from her. They were like,
it's all rigged.
Dude,
it's
when
all,
Obama, I think Obama was kind of that exception where like they didn't see it coming, but the support behind him was so huge. And he was being treated almost like a mainstream celebrity in a way that they hadn't really seen a politician be treated probably since Kennedy. And they went with him, and the voting public went with him instead of kissing Hillary's ring. And I think after that, they were like, we're not letting this happen again, even though Obama won. And that's why when Bernie crept up on Hillary, they were like, oh, well, we got super delegates that are going to like stop Bernie no matter how many votes he gets.
Right. I see what you're saying there.
Yeah, I think, and that's why Biden is still trucking down the road right now, because it's his turn. It's his turn.
Right.
He paid his dues.
There is a very elite club. That these people get picked, and I mean, it's the right word for it, but people have
it feels like it's more
room for these.
Yeah, that's a terrible word, but I know what you mean.
Yeah, and like, but it's a bipartisan group, you know, like the Obama's best friends, the fucking Bushes, the Clintons fucking don't get along with hardly anybody, but they're in it because they're politically connected. I mean, these have less to do with what the United States, populace, the voting bloc of the United States wants for their elected officials. That has nothing to do with it. Nothing at all.
Bill Clinton was really close to Bush Sr., actually. They started, like, hanging out.
Right. He was close to him, but, like...
When Hurricane Katrina happened, they did a bunch of PSAs together to, like, raise money and get aid to Katrina, Bush Sr. and Clinton.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And, like, it's most, I think it's probably actually just Hill Dog that nobody likes. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, no, the Clintons and the Obamas do not like each other. They do not. The Bush.
Because it was Hillary's turn.
Mm-hmm.
And Obama came and snatched it up because he was just way better in every way.
Yeah.
And like there was like
way better at drone striking Yemenis children for
sure. Like we can go through all that too, but I'm just saying like there was an unprecedented amount of like African Americans voting in that election too, which helped. I mean, it was they couldn't deny just his popularity. I went to see him speak, but way before it was even like. I saw him speak like before the primary started, just after he announced his thing, and it was in like a little theater, like a very small theater. And then a few months later, after he gets the nomination, he's like filling like an arena. You know what I mean? Yeah. It was crazy.
This is the guy who talks about wanting to get rid of the healthcare provision we put in place. This is the guy who wants to give the power back to big pharma to be able to charge exorbitant prices for drugs. This is the guy who wants to undo every single thing I've done. Every single thing.
I understand that. I understand that's why you want to stay in the race. But have you convinced yourself that only you can defeat him?
I convinced myself of two things. I'm the most qualified person to beat him, and I know how to get things done.
If you can be convinced that you cannot defeat Donald Trump, will you stand down?
Oh, this is crazy. What he's about to say here.
Well, it depends if the Lord Almighty comes out and tells me that, I might do that.
So it's going to take literally God coming and telling him that he needs to drop out. That's what it takes.
Yeah. It's going to take the fucking creator of the universe himself to be like, yo, you can't win, Joe.
To manifest.
And then maybe I won't run. You fucking dick.
Yeah.
What an absolute dipshit.
Yeah.
I mean, but like the thing too, we have to keep in mind, it's not even really his decision. It's there's like a whole fucking committee of people making all these decisions, making all these calls.
But it's his
they
turn.
got fucking action groups and shit. They've got like reasons why they think this is the most politically expedient reason to do this or to do that or blah blah blah. Like that's just how this shit fucking works, you know? Like whatever, fucking whatever.
Well, I mean, on a more practical level, Washington Post just reported in the last hour that Senator Mark Warner is assembling a group of senators together to try and convince you to stand down because they don't think you can win.
Well, Mark is a good man. We've never had that. He also tried to get the nomination too. Mark's not. Mark and I have a different perspective. I respect him.
So why bring up that he tried to get the nomination? He's like, oh, yeah, he tried to get the nomination from me.
He hate us because he ain't us.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yep.
I don't know.
And if Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries and Nancy Pelosi come down and say, we're worried that if you stay in the race, we're going to lose the House and the Senate, how will you respond?
I go into detail with them. I've spoken.
Pelosi's even older than Biden.
All of them in detail.
Oh, yeah.
Including Jim Clyburn. Every one of them. They all said I should stay in the race. Stay in the race. None of the people said I should leave.
But if they do?
Well, it's like, they're not going to do that.
You sure?
Well, yeah, I'm sure. Look.
Yeah, it's my turn, Jack. I was ordained to be president after Hillary got her turn. So, Jack, I bowed out. He could have, it's most two-term vice presidents run for president after it. They at least like run in the primary. He didn't even do that at all. He sat out.
No.
It was Hillary's turn.
Yeah.
The anointed one.
The anointed one. Blessed by thou, the firm dictates of who gets what in the Democrat Party. It's fucking crazy.
I mean, if the Lord Almighty came out and said,
it seems like the Democrats have this even more than the Republicans, because the Republicans, most of them didn't want Trump and they could not keep him out.
True.
I don't know.
I'll get out of the race. I get out of the race. The Lord Almighty's not coming down.
Right.
These
So you're saying there is no way. You hinted at a way that's literally impossible. That's the only way that you'll do it. God has to like appear and tell you not to run.
Yep. I have to keep running because God hasn't shown up yet.
Yep.
Owned.
But it's not that hypothetical anymore. I grant that they have not requested the meeting, but it's been reported.
I've met with them. I've met with a lot of these people. I've talked with them regularly. I had an hour conversation with Hakeem. I had more time than that with Jim Clyburn. I spent time with many hours off and on the last little bit with Chuck Schumer. It's not like I had all the governors. All the governors.
I agree that the Lord Almighty is not going to come down, but if you are told reliably from your allies, from your friends and supporters in the Democratic Party, in the House and the Senate, that they're concerned you're going to lose the House and the Senate if you stay in, what will you do?
I'm not going to answer that question.
That's a red flag.
Well, sort of, because the thing is, like, you want somebody who was the president to still have some degree of being able to save face. You don't want any reason for the history books to look back and say, by the way, this was our brain dead, dementia-ridden fucking president. You don't want that. Now, if I'm just trying to be like a hopeful. This is like a hopium maybe statement. maybe it's more along the lines of like, going to maintain this line, but if it obviously becomes clear that he can't win, they'll just say he has to bow out for health reasons, right? Like, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
Make up a lie.
Mental health is part of your health.
Yeah, but Ben, you know what I'm getting at, right? Like, they can't just say, oh, well, the president's brain is melting, right? They can't just say that. So maybe wait like a couple of weeks or something and then like, ooh, actually his health is getting pretty bad. Not mental health. Mental health, he's great. But, yeah, exactly. Matt Jarjosa, they need an out. They need an out, and they have to do it with a way that maintains dignity and still conveys strength. And that way also, because you have to keep in mind, everything a president does should be and is usually scrutinized. The moment you can make a case that something that a president did was done while they were mentally infirm means that is all going to come into question everything they did before. That can mean legal proceedings. That can mean a massive traffic jam and bureaucracy. Like, there's a lot of reasons why you don't fucking want that. A lot of reasons. Now, I'm not saying that's what's happening. Maybe what we see is what's happening. But I'm sipping from my flask of hopium right now, all right? So let me do it.
I feel like there's a plethora of viable candidates.
Agreed.
In their 40s and 50s that could run right now. I am going to run to the loo right quick, and then we will finish this up. I've been drinking beer trying to catch up to you.
Chase me, bitch. I'm back on the White Claw. Cha-chow, the most masculine of all alcohols. See, I, a responsible drinker, am going to switch between a sparkling water and then a claw so I can be nice and hydrated and not have a hangover tomorrow. Do you think Kendall is drinking right now? Does Kendall actually drink alcohol? Really? Speaking of PDF file kings, what's up, Java? Heidi ho, kids. Gross. Yeah, I don't know if Kendall drinks. I think if Kendall did drink, then he might actually develop a personality. Maybe. Who would I pick to replace Biden? Well, I mean, Kamala is the easy answer. I don't like Kamala, but like whatever. I think she actually has a good shot because she has name recognition. The other name recognition is probably Newsom. I don't like Newsom either. He's a neoconservative Democrat, all about neocorporatist Democrat. But he'd be pretty much kind of like Biden. So whatever. But who I'd really like, who I'd be super down for, get Big Gretch on the tick and have Bernie as her running mate. I would be fucking down for that shit in a heartbeat. We need Big fucking Gretch. Big Gretch coming in like a goddamn wrecking ball to shit the place up. Absolutely just slash some fucking throats and just have Bernie on the sidelines being like, yeah, it'd be great. Kamala would be the logical choice. They wouldn't have to do anything different with campaign funds. That's most likely why, if they replace it, it's going to be Kamala. On a scale of 10 to 14, what's Trump's favorite age? Whichever age he found his daughter the most attractive at. It's probably the real answer. You don't like Big Gretch? I love Big Gretch. I think Big Gretch is a fucking badass. I really like her a lot. Yeah.
All right.
Big Gretch in the burn. Yeah. That is a dream ticket, isn't it? I mean, like, I get why some people don't like Gretchen Whitmer as much.
Is that the Michigan governor?
Yeah. I personally
She's
think I think she's fucking rad, dude. I think she's rad as fuck.
As much as I hate Michigan, too.
Yeah. Well, I hate Michigan sports, but I love the state of Michigan.
Sure. I have family that live in Michigan. Like, it's, yeah.
It's like
Patreon-a-thorn. Yeah, thank you for signing up.
Yo, it's like how I love Ohio State sports, but I think Ohio is like the worst. Is it the third worst state in the union?
I don't agree with that, but it's not one of the better ones. Like, I don't want to live there, so I don't.
I'm mostly it's fine.
What's your plan to turn the campaign around?
You saw it today. How many people can you draw crowds like I drew today? You find many more enthusiastic than today? Huh?
I mean, I don't think you want to play the crowd game. Donald Trump can draw big crowds. There's no question about that.
He can draw a big crowd, but what's he?
Yeah, so he appeals to a crowd.
Right.
Donald Trump does that too.
Yeah. Why would you do that? Why'd you bring that up? Like, what the fuck?
Because he doesn't know what to say.
Yeah.
He's...
Say,
they took him aside and they were like, you need to start getting aggressive, Joe. And he's like, okay. And now he's acting like badass grandpa. He's acting like Kendall's dad.
Oh, my God.
He's acting like Alan.
Oh,
it's
my
not
God.
a good look. It's not a good look, dude.
Yeah,
Don't
I
be-
watched a stream of Kendall earlier where he was trying to shit on Ohio and, Ohio sports. And he kept saying, like, Ohio had 3 NFL teams, which it only has 2. And he kept saying it. And you can hear Alan off camera be like, it only has 2 teams. And Kendall's like, they got 3 teams. And then, like, Kendall's like, no, they only, like, I think Kendall's starting to, like, ignore his dad because his dad's always, like, barking shit at him. And then, and then, like, he was like, yeah, the 2 Ohio teams suck. They're terrible. And then you can hear Alan. Alan is, like, way smarter than Kendall. I'll give him that. And, like, Alan will be like, Cincinnati's actually good at football. Like, I heard him say that. It's true. Like, Cincinnati in the last, like, 4 or 5 years has, like, they've made the playoffs and everything. They're actually pretty good. The Browns have not been good since pre-NFL era. They were, like, one of the better teams in
I've got a question. This is a very important question, and I don't know if you can help me or if anybody out there in the DP world can help me, but I need to have a custom puppet made. I need a Muppet.
Oh, shit. There was someone who used to do that for, like, Kermit and Friends, you know, Elisa Jordana's.
Yeah.
Bob had a puppet at one point.
I need a Mama JF puppet. Like, legit.
Just
I'm not
find
fucking
her
around.
body.
Well, I've been looking. No, like, I'm not even kidding. I need a fucking Mama JF Muppet. I need one. I need one really fucking bad.
I'm the guy supposedly in trouble. We raised $38 million within 4 days after this. We have over 1 million individual contributors. Individual contributors. Less than $200. I've not seen what you're proposing.
Oh, God. You haven't seen the fall off in the polls.
He's like,
you haven't seen the reports of discontent in the Democratic Party, House Democrats, Senate Democrats.
I've seen it from the press.
Okay, so now you are going to say the press is full of bullshit. That's more Donald Trump territory.
Yeah,
you know, I've heard from dozens of your supporters over the last few.
Dude, I would vote for George Stephanopoulos for president over Biden.
Sure, fuck it, why not?
Days and a variety of views. I grant you that.
We never had a Greek president. Dukakis. That, you know, honestly, that's the first election I remember. Michael Dukakis.
Ah, okay.
It was George Bush Sr. versus Dukakis.
Darkside Becky makes puppets? Okay. All right.
But the prevailing sentiment is this. They love you. And they will be forever grateful to you for defeating Donald Trump in 2020. They think you've done a great job as president, a lot of the successes you outlined. But
yeah, I'm glad he won. I'm glad Trump wasn't president for the last term, but you don't need to be. This notion that you have to be a 2-term president to be a successful one is not true.
Sure.
They are worried about you and the country, and they don't think you can win. They want you to go with grace. and they will cheer you if you do. What do you say to that?
I say the vast majority are not where those folks are.
I don't know if it's the majority, but it is a very sizable number.
Yeah, probably. We're back.
Yeah. So, Boglum Reacts, you're out there, and I know you're a great editor. All right? I need you... I'm wondering, and I'll send you the song file, because I wanna play this when Billy's on one of these times. I'm wondering if you can edit a video for me. I would like an edit of Billy and Ronald McFondle's Pinwheel song with like new metal band shit like mixed in with it, because I made a new metal version of Pinwheels. I'm gonna play it for you guys. I made sure to put in the record scratch part.
Wrestling champion, neighborhood stranger. Pretty please picture me, I'm Mickey D's doppelganger. It's a ball pit banging, let the nuts hang. Can you afford a double-sider for a butt bang? Ass to ass, long line around the slut train. Sore on her upper lip next to a cum stain. It's a fun game, squeeze till the pig squeal. Set your fist then, do it like a pinwheel. With your daughter, I shower with cold water. Spin her on my finger like a Harlem Globetrotter. Oh bother, I'm like poo in a honey pot. Do her where she poo, then I end with the money shot.
Cry harder.
She gonna spin like a pinwheel, rolling with McFarlane. Yo, you know that's a big deal. Get real, no baby, get the plunger. After party starts at the Mickey D's dumpster. Get dumber, this will be hella awkward. Put you on my fist, spin you like a helicopter. Tell the doctor if you start to get dizzy, just don't interrupt me when I start to get busy. If you start to get pissy, I'm gonna call Ronnie Mac. She's a hypochondriac, toss her in a body bag. It's a party, man, do it like a line of coke. Pinwheel spinning, I'm sorry, your vagina broke. Stop, hold up, stand still. Fist up your pussy and make a pinwheel. Stop, hold up, stand still. Fist up your pussy and make a pinwheel. Stop, hold up, stand still. Fist up your pussy and make a pinwheel. Stop, hold up, stand still. Fist up your pussy and make a pinwheel. When I think of your daughter, I shower with cold water. Spin her on my finger like a Harlem Globetrotter. Oh bother, I'm like poo in a honey pot. Do her where she poo, then I end with the money shot. Funny thought, she gonna spin like a pinwheel. Rolling with McFarlane, yo, you know that's a big deal. Get real, nah baby, get the...
Yeah, like I would like a mixture of the original Pinwheel video and then like shots of like new metal bands like playing with like a big crowd, and then with like the like record scratching part, I want just like generic like someone scratching records. It would be great. I don't
music
know.
video.
Yeah.
I don't doubt there's some folks there. Have you ever seen a group at time when elected officials running for office aren't a little worried? Have you ever seen that? I've not. Same thing happened in 2020. Oh, Biden, I don't know, man. What's he going to do? He may bring me down. He may.
Mr. President, I've never seen a president
When
36%
say
approve.
that he would unalive trans people in Minecraft.
I think it might have been the last time we ever had G-Man on the show.
Yeah, he said some pretty gnarly, egregious shit. I don't know if he was quite so explicit with it, or if he was doing like
it was explicit.
irony posting kind of shit. Was it really explicit?
Now he's gonna claim, because now he learned that when he turned on Rev and Shani, he gets like positive viewership and makes money off of it. Now he's trying to rewrite his history, but
so he's not as hateful. Gotcha. Okay.
Will get reelected.
Well, I don't believe that's my approval rate. That's not what our polls show.
And if you stay in and Trump is elected and everything you're warning about comes to pass, how will you feel in January?
I feel as long as I gave it my all and I did the goodest job as I know I can do.
The goodest job.
The goodest job. Okay, well, at least he'll feel good about himself. The rest of us can feel pretty fucking terrible, right?
Goodest, not a word.
I'm not.
That's like something a 4-year-old would say. A goodest. What's your problem, Jeff? What did you just drink?
It's like Celsius, sparkling water or some.
You
shit
seem
like
very
that.
offended by it.
No, like Mary walked up and she was like, "Dude, is there something fucking wrong with this? It tastes disgusting." And I took a sip and I wanted to throw up.
You look
So,
like
yeah,
you're about to
that's
puke.
bad.
Same thing happened in 2020. Oh, Biden, I don't know, man. What's he going to do? He may let me down. He may.
Mr. President, I've never seen a president at 36% approval get reelected.
Well, I don't believe that's my approval rate. That's not what our polls show.
What does he mean by our polls?
And if you polls, they show him when it's nappy time.
The polls he agrees with. I
stay in and Trump is elected and everything you're warning about.
I'm going through the goodest thing again because this is what's this guy's degree? Did he go to like a prestigious university? Probably.
To pass.
Probably.
How will you feel in January?
I feel as long as I gave it my all and I did the goodest job as I know I can do. That's what this is about. Look, George, think of it this way. You've heard me say this before. I think the United States and the world is at an inflection point where the things that happen in the next several years are going to determine what the next 6, 7 decades look like. And who's going to be able to hold NATO together like me? Who's going to be able to be in a position where I'm able to keep the Pacific Basin in a position where
Literally anybody except for you or Trump. Literally anybody except you and Trump. Literally anybody, dude. Literally anybody can do that. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
fuck off.
I remember I don't think his politics are that great, but I remember being like, oh, please let Arnold run. But he can't legally.
He can't. Not legally, yeah.
But he could have actually challenged Trump legitimately for the party's nomination.
Listen here, Donald. We're going to have ourselves a little arm wrestling. I win, you don't get to run for president. Very simple. Come on, girly man. Let's see what you could do.
You can't bully him. You know what I mean? Like,
you can't bully Arnold. No, fuck
Right.
no. I killed the fucking predator. You think I can't make mincemeat out of some stupid little fucking show?
at least checkmating China now.
That was Arnold guzzling cum, by the way.
Who's going to do that? Who has that reach? Who knows all these? We're going to have, I guess, a good way to judge me is you're going to have now the NATO conference here in the United States next week. Come listen. See what they say.
Mr. President, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
So that's that.
I hate it. I fucking hate it. I like how so singularly self-focused he is. Like, if I tried to do the goodest job and, our country dies, well, I'll be, I'll feel good about myself. Like, whatever.
If I do the goodest job, could I have ice cream after dinner?
Yeah,
if I do the goodest job.
Ugh, God.
I'm gonna give us a palate cleanser right now.
Okay.
I don't know if you've seen this, Jeff. This came out 5 days ago.
I gotta make a comment though. Somebody said JF would make a good POTUS, but
fuck
he can't.
them. The chat is
no. But listen, no. Listen, I'm gonna be dead ass honest with you. I would vote for JF before I voted for fucking Trump. I legit would. I absolutely fucking would in a fucking heartbeat. Because as much of a dipshit as JF Gariepi is, I think JF at least understands notions of like freedom and democracy better than Trump does. Legit. Fucking legit. I would vote for JF Gariepi for president over Donald Trump. 100%. Wouldn't even hesitate. Now you can do the
all right.
I mean, what about you? Would you?
No.
No. Oh, so you're for Trump then? Okay, I gotcha.
Well, No, I'm not. Anyway, I would like you to see this. This came out 5 days ago. I don't know if you've seen this. Have you seen this new Arby's commercial?
I don't know. Maybe.
All right. Here it is. Here it is.
JF 2024. Don't ask where Mama JF went.
Yeah. Don't
Welcome to Arby's. What can I get you today?
Yeah, hi. Can I get a beef and cheddar?
Yes.
And for you to bring back the potato cakes, please. Please. I really need them.
Sir? Dude, this is about to take a turn you will not expect.
Please, I keep telling you, they're not coming back.
I know you have them.
Come on, Mr. McLaughlin.
Hi, McLaughlin.
It's over.
Okay. I'll just have the beef and cheddar, thank you.
Yeah. Yes, it is happening.
Sir! Okay. Hi, welcome to Arby's.
They should have gotten David Lynch to direct this commercial.
He wouldn't do it, but yeah, I agree.
In the merry month whence Arby's doth rejoice their birth, thine beloved side returns to our yearning earth.
What?
Potato cakes are back.
I want to try the potato cakes now.
Yeah.
I'm super. I've never heard of them before, but now I want them.
I have the photo queued up, by the way.
Yeah, I fucking love Kyle. Kyle is the coolest motherfucker in the world.
He's from the PNW.
Yeah, he is.
Dude,
absolutely.
Literally, no lie. And I missed it. I saw it like 2 days after it happened. He was at the Issaquah, Washington Costco, passing out wine samples one day.
Yeah. No, he so he made his own winery. And like Memory and me are really big Kyle McLaughlin fans. And so Memory, for one of her birthdays, got this virtual wine tasting because it was a whole COVID thing. And that put her on a list to let her know when his actual, like, the wine tasting room was going to be open. And that's out in Walla Walla, Washington. So we got invited to it, and we got to go and hang out with him. And he was the nicest, sweetest fucking man. Just an absolute
insane
doll.
talent. Like, he was... Dude, that's another soap opera you can react to is Desperate Housewives. And when he dude, that show actually
good.
You know what? It got swallowed up by the term soap opera. It's a black comedy, basically.
It's really good. Have
you watched it?
Good. Yeah, no, it's really fucking funny.
It's really good.
It's well written.
I watched it during its original run and I was kind of hooked. And then he showed up in like the 4th season or whatever.
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, he's a great guy. We had a really good time. He made sure to like spend time with everybody that was hanging out there. But he kept coming back over to our table because, I don't know, we're freaks or something, and he's pretty weird. And when I was like, dude, can you put me in a headlock? He's like, sure, fuck it. Yeah, why not? Let's try and do that. And we just kind of settled on that. It was good.
You know, yesterday I saw my first Cybertruck.
Oh, no.
Dude, it was a Woody.
A Woody Cybertruck?
Yes. Look at it.
What the fuck?
It's a Woody. And I looked it up. There are Woody Cybertrucks.
That's so weird.
It was baby blue and then a wood paneled side.
That's so crazy. That might actually make it a little bit less disgusting and pathetic. Weird.
I don't know.
Yeah? Okay. Well, I'll bow to your expertise.
It was like down at the end of the street, and I'm like, holy shit, it's a Cybertruck. And then it turned, and I'm like, it's a Woody. The last time I remember, like, a Woody car, like when they put out the PT Cruiser, there were Woody versions of it.
I was just thinking the PT Cruiser was like the last big popular. Right?
For you growing up, was Woody the same as Slugbug? Because we used to punch each other when we'd see a Woody. We'd be like, Woody. So, like, if we saw any wood-paneled car, you'd be like, Woody, and you'd, like, punch the guy next to you.
No, we didn't do that. No.
Dude, we had this crazy hierarchy. of me and my friends where like I guess we all just love to torture each other. Because it was like, we had a thing where it was like if you spilled the bong, because people would be all high or drunk and they'd like knock over the bong and make the dirty water stink the place up. And we had like our shack where we'd hang out. And if you spilled the bong water, everyone got to kick you once. And if the person that was there when you spilled it was wearing shell toes, you got a double kick. And then like everyone in my friend group was wearing shell toes at the end of it.
This is strange. This is it. I mean,
actually,
sure,
it actually influenced me to buy a pair of shell-toed shoes a couple years ago, and I'm like, yeah, these look, yeah.
I mean, sure, fuck it, whatever, it's cool.
Yeah, we're mean in the Rust Belt. We're kind of mean. You've met Honest Red.
No.
Well, I mean, not in person, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Oh, okay. Never mind. All right. Moving on.
Moving on.
We should move on. What do I have in the fucking title? I have to look at my own title. Gail, my God, dude, I'm so ready for this.
Oh, no.
Buckle your safety belts, everyone.
Clee disappear. Clee disappear. Clee disappear. Clee disappear. Clee.
All right, here it is. This video is entitled "Poop Out in India, White Woman is Raped."
Poop out in India. God, fuck me. All right, sure.
Quick disclaimer, we do not agree with the views of Gail Cord-Schuler. We are watching this. It is a fictional account of things. It is not hate speech. We are watching it and reacting to it accordingly. A fictional event, a fictional story. Disclaimer, disclaimer, disclaimer. Here we go.
I mean,
I got an email from Brent Spiner entitled, "Poop Out in India, White Woman is Raped." Dearest Gail, my eyes are still burning and watering as I type this, partly from the smell and partly from what I have witnessed. I'll start from where it all began. Recently, there was a religious gathering in central India in the village of Rati Banpu. Large crowd.
Oh my God, is that the woman that was killed by Alec Baldwin on the right there?
Gathered to listen to a Hindu
I don't know.
guru.
Oh, actually, no. I think it's wrong. I think that is Laurie McBride. I think that is the actual Laurie McBride.
Named Bole Baba. One of the attendees was none other than our very own Laurie.
I know that's Selma Hayek on the left because that was like one of my big crushes as like a teenage boy. I was like,
it does look like Selma, yeah.
That is Selma on the
Laurie
left.
McBride. As you know, following her transformative oral sex encounter with Jesus, Laurie became reformed and joined Church of Gail. Laurie has been on a deep spiritual and healing journey ever since.
Good.
During her time with us, she struck up a friendship with the
honestly, I'm guessing that is why Brent is so triggered by the Gail shit, is because Laurie is actually brought into it a lot, and that is his wife.
Well, he wasn't married to her when the Gail Cord-Schuler stuff happened.
They were like together though.
Yeah, but I don't think Gail was talking about, like, Laurie really only took a center place in this whole, like,
I think he still, honestly, I think he still watches her to see what she's doing because he's that freaked out about her. He wrote a fucking book about her. You know what I mean? And
it's very fucking, that's fucking funny.
I can guarantee you at least one of the views on every Gail video is from Brent Spiner. Literally the
Okay.
legit real Brent Spiner. And I saw how, I didn't realize this, but I saw how he reacted to you the one time. And I'm like, yeah, Brent probably did literally call the FBI. That the whole thing where like,
I would.
That when, yeah, I mean, he was being stalked. But like the whole thing where that person got into the Q&A and asked Brent about Gail, and Marina Sirtis like said, I'm calling the FBI. She was there when all that shit went down.
Oh, sure.
Goddess Lakshmi, which became...
So Lori became friends with the goddess Lakshmi. So they decided to take a trip to India.
Like you do.
Which made her become curious about Hinduism. So when Lori heard about this upcoming gathering in India, she decided to go hear what the guru had to say. Lori McBride arrived at the gathering in traditional Indian garb, complete with a modest head covering for her blonde hair. She had freshly showered and wore deodorant.
See how they mention
Otherwise,
that?
out of respect for...
There is a stereotype about Indian people that she will go over.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
The Indian people, she was adhering as closely as she could to the culture. The Church of Gail
And I do talk to Zach sometimes, and Zach told me that Brent did actually take a trip to India recently.
space pod glistened with condensation from the thick yellow smog on its descent to Hathras, Uttar Pradesh.
I have to pee. I'm
sure
going to leave this
pronouncing
play
this
while
right.
I do it.
Brown
go for it.
bodies
I'm
scattered
on it.
out of its shadow like insects as the craft landed in the dust. Lori stepped outside. When she saw a group of the local Indian women gathered nearby, she approached them with an open mind, hoping to make fellowship with them. Namaste, Lori said with a bow of her head. The Indian women looked at Lori with curiosity. To white people, the darty, black-eyed gaze of an Indian might look like a lot like judgment, but it's really that they rarely see white people in their own country and don't know how to react. Some of them squinted and grabbed their noses. "What is that smell?" one of the women asked. "Soap," Lori informed her. "What is that?" another Indian woman asked.
No,
"It's a substance that you rub all over your body in the shower," Lori explained. "It comes in solid form like a bar or as a liquid. It can be very aromatic." "Oh," exclaimed one of the women, "so it's like poop. Do you put it in your vagina too?" "You can," Lori replied, "but it's not recommended unless you want a yeast infection." "What's wrong with a yeast infection?" a woman asked.
Oh my God.
It would make your
Oh,
vagina
no.
itch and burn, not to mention very smelly. If your vagina isn't smelly, how can your husband find it?" Lori continued to converse with the Indian women, enlightening them about white culture and answering all of their questions. As it turned out, these women were on their way to see Bole Baba too, so she would be able to follow them there. Lori wasn't the only member of Church of Gail that was attending this event. Our newest $25 tier patron, Chadito, was also interested in hearing Bole Baba. He arrived in Hathras to meet our longtime friend Prometheus, who has been visiting India on a personal sabbatical. Chadito stepped out of the space pod. Prometheus greeted him with a casual man hug, patting his butt and squeezing it a little. "Welcome to India," Prometheus said. "I've learned a lot about Indian culture since I've been here. Brent called me right away when you said you would be dropping by. I'm more than happy to be your cultural guide." "Thanks, man, I'm going to need it," Chadito replied. "It's my first time, so I'm nervous." Chadito was a scrawny man, half Latino and half white, with long, thick hair like a woman. Unlike Lori, he was less prepared for what exactly to wear to India. He did not have the clear poncho or face shield that Prometheus had. Instead, he wore glasses and a regular t-shirt with a tacky logo on the front. "Come," Prometheus said. "The event is about to begin. Here, take this." He held out his hand and heterosexually offered his pinky to Chedito.
Heterosexually offered his pinky.
Holding pinkies so that nobody would think they were gay, the two men navigated through the crowd, with Prometheus leading the way. Chedito's eyes gazed all around him, taking in the third world wonderland. The air was thick and golden yellow. Billows of sand carried the smell of urine, decay, and fecal matter into their lungs. Wafts of heavy perfume, burning incense, and warm spices added a touch of exotic luxury to the rich aromas. Lanky brown bodies scurried all around them in a massive swarm. Chedito hugged himself, feeling a little claustrophobic.
Real quick, I gotta answer a question in the chat. Why doesn't this woman stalk Jonathan Frakes or Patrick Stewart? Well, she's not stalking anyone. She's married to Brent Spiner. The Brent Spiner.
And by the way, he's the sexy one. Fuck those other guys.
Right. Well, yeah, of course, obviously. But also, the Brent Spiner who is afraid of Gail is actually a Jesuit clone. I'm just clearing that up so we're all on the same page.
Claustrophobic as Indians pushed past them on all sides. He squeezed tighter on Prometheus's pinky for security. "There's so many of them. How can they even see?" "Well," Prometheus explained matter of fact, "scientists have determined that Indians coordinate their individual and communal behaviors using a complex pheromone signaling system. Indians release a special odor wherever they go, which helps them track where they have been and find other Indians. It even helps them locate a female Indian's vagina when it's time to reproduce." Wow, Chedito said, "kind of like ants or rats. That makes sense." "Yes, it's very important for them to maintain their scent trails. Otherwise, they could get lost and confused." "I see," Chedito said, soaking in the education. "Chedito, let me break the fourth wall here for a minute." Prometheus put a hand on his shoulder. "All jokes aside, what I'm about to show you is, without any exaggeration, exactly what India is like." Prometheus waved one hand, and the words, "This is what India is actually like," appeared at the bottom of Chedito's vision as if they were suspended in thin air. "Whoa, how did you do that?" Are you using some kind of hologram technology from Church of Gail?" "Something like that. I'll just leave this here while we walk around." "What is the asterisk at the end for?" I included an asterisk because unless you've been to India yourself, your mind cannot comprehend what it's truly like. The day-to-day normal activity in this society defies and challenges all human imagination on a universal scale. Everything I'm about to show you here is real.
By the way, this coming January will be 10 years since the first time Drunken Peasants covered Gail. And I plan on having her on to commemorate that.
That'd be so great.
The video that we watched about the penis malware happened. It was that was published in August of 2014, and we watched it in January of 2015.
That's incredible, dude. Where does all the time go? You know what I mean? Where does it fucking go?
I'm glad that penis malware is gone, though.
Yeah, I mean
it turned Hugh Jackman's dick into a vagina.
Well, I mean, yeah. It's pretty effective.
And you can verify it yourself by looking it up. But you won't believe me or have a calibrated sense of how accurate this is unless you have actually been to India before. Describing it requires no hyperbole or exaggeration.
I had a bunch of friends that went to India for a wedding.
Yeah.
And it was not like the wedding was beautiful.
Sure.
And like my friend's Okay. I had a friend that was Indian. He wasn't like my best friend, but we were friends and we hung out and we had like a friend group where like some of the friends were like closer to him than me, but me and him were buddies. But like he had a wedding and like his close friends from the States. He married an American girl. But they had their wedding in the States that I went to, but then they had their wedding in India that like only like his closest friends went to. By the way, my camera died and it has unbelievable pause game right here.
Oh yeah, it sure as fuck did, didn't it? Damn, bro.
Anyway, I'll fix that. I was just gonna say, like, yes, the fucking horrible parts of India, from what I hear, are like extra horrible. Like,
oh, I bet.
Worse than you can imagine.
I can't get over that fucking pause game. It's so good.
It was, yeah, it was pretty good.
Oh, that was just fucking choice.
Hold on, why am I not
God
coming?
damn.
Oh shit, I'm in Skype now. I need to stop. Yeah. There we go. Oh. No. All right, we're back.
And anything you think is too intense or unimaginable is really only scratching the surface of what actually goes on in India. Well, I'm here now and I'm ready to learn. Let's go. The two men continued on. Lining the overcrowded streets were vendors, merchants, and shops of all shapes and sizes. Unwashed Indians prepared dishes of food using their feet, hands, and fingers, hastily serving the finished products to passing customers before washing their hands in a mix of lemon water and cow urine before starting the next batches.
No. Oh, good.
Chedito,
They would not use
distracted
cow.
by the
Okay, in
authentic
India,
food-
they wouldn't use cow anything. Like they
No,
don't.
it would not.
Like
No.
McDonald's in India does not have beef burgers. They have lamb as their main burger there.
Right.
Yeah.
It's still pretty funny.
Yes.
Prep stumbled and almost tripped over something on the ground. To his culture shock, he looked down to see a dead body lying in the streets. Going by the color of the flesh and the presence of maggots, he was almost surprised he didn't smell it first. Of course, the aroma of India itself heavily masked the scent. He was about to cry out in alarm, but before he could say anything, Prometheus waved a hand. "Don't worry about it. They'll come get it eventually," he said. Huh?
I'm sorry,
Who will
but
come
it's
get
time
it?
for this question to be asked. Do we believe that Gail is actually racist? If not, then how do we explain all the really racist things in her writing?
I don't care if
okay.
she is.
I'm going to try and explain this in the easiest way for people to understand possible. Gail, the world of Gail exists whether we like it or not. And Gail exists inside that world, but she also does have awareness of what that world is and where our place is inside of it.
I don't want to interrupt you, but I also want to say she reads what she's reading something. She did not come up with this on her own.
Right. I'm getting to that. Okay. So Gail is aware that Gail's world is not necessarily the world that everybody else sees.
And by the way, Gail's not like she's half Japanese. She's not like a white lady either.
No, she's not. Yeah. She is part Asian.
Half Japanese. Her mom was from Japan.
Oh my God. Anyway,
sorry.
So Gail's world that has been created and that she shares with us will exist no matter what. But Gail's world is also full of characters that influence and take part and play with Gail inside of this world. And that manifests itself sometimes in letters to her from people like Brent Spiner. And she's reading a letter from Brent Spiner. But there are plenty of things that are the basis that letter comes from that is a manifestation or creation of Gail. So this is kind of like a collaborative world that Gail and the people that live in her universe have come up together with and are sharing with us. The best thing that anybody can do when they're watching Gail is to not worry about it, is to just enjoy something that is so unique and outside of what art usually is, and just enjoy it and stop worrying about it. And just know that Gail is safe and Gail is sharing.
She is safe.
She's safe.
And people are like, oh, I didn't know Gail was half Japanese. Yeah, Gail unfortunately recorded her mother one time when she came to her house, and she was an elderly Japanese woman, and she was trying to talk to Gail about like getting better, and Gail was like, oh, you're in league with the Jesuits or whatever. And I just remember the end of it ending with like Gail's old Japanese mother being like, you're crazy, and like she just like left. Do you remember that? Did you see that video?
I did see that
she was like,
one.
oh, you're crazy, and then she just like leaves.
Yeah, and Gail's mother is also
She's dead now.
Was she? Yeah, she passed away.
Yep,
but
I messaged Gail when I found out her mother passed.
Yeah, I meant to. I didn't get a chance to.
Yeah.
But like Gail's mom was not very nice to Gail and like wanted to have her put away.
But think about like how old she was, like World War II era Japanese woman. Like
sure. I mean, I'm like, I don't want to like, be too mean about it, but like, that's not what Gail needs. Gail's doing great now. She's thriving.
Of course. But think about like Gail's not quite old enough to be my mother, but kind of close. So think about like her mother would be like way older.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah.
Prometheus approached a vendor's tent. There was a skinny Indian man kneading dough on the ground with his ashy feet. Another Indian man approached, returning with a bucket full of toilet water collected from the nearest bathroom to add to the metal cooking pot next to the dough. He poured the wet, poop-splashed bucket into the pot, grabbed some vegetables to toss into the broth.
The benevolent trolls that take care of Gail.
Yeah.
What they didn't realize is she's so good at reading.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
She can do that with music, too. I had no idea. I did my stream with her. I don't know if you saw it. Did you see it?
Oh yeah. No, I watched it like 3 times.
Oh, my God, dude. She could pull out sheet music and just play it. Like it's nothing.
No, she's incredibly talented. Very musically talented. She's a wonderful woman. I love the fuck out of Gail.
Then stirred it with his stained hands. Prometheus salivated. Indian food is an acquired taste, but I've taken quite a liking to it since I've been here. Moo! Chadito jumped as he nearly got trampled by some type of animal, closely followed by a group of Indians. He turned to look. The animal was an emaciated cow, covered in flies. It stopped and swished its tail rapidly before releasing a flood of urine and a few mounds of feces from its rear. Like a clucking coop of chickens, the Indians ooh-gawed and boo-gawed in excitement, fighting each other for access to the cow's emptying orifices. The Indians grabbed handfuls of the cow's falling urine to wash their hair and their faces before taking the poop and rubbing it on their skin.
Poop?
1 penny puree, please, Prometheus asked from the vendor. Yes, sir, the Indian nodded with emphasis. Whoosh! Chadito screamed as a blast of fire erupted next to the vendor's tent. A pile of poop-encrusted bodies stacked on the ground were now burning in flames beneath the scorching India heat. What? What are they doing? He exclaimed. Oh, Prometheus said, brightening with eager excitement. This ritual is a very spiritual practice in Indian culture. They collect the members of their population that fall dead in the streets, then burn them all together in a pile wherever they can find space in public to do so. What
my
about
God.
cemeteries? They don't give them a private burial or funeral, Chedito asked.
Oh my
Chedito,
God.
Prometheus gently chided, wagging his finger. Watch your colonial normative language. Of course not. This is simply how this part of the world honors their dead. But what about diseases? What about preserving the dignity of the dead? This is fucked up even for me. And my people carry dead babies full of cocaine across the Mexican border. Prometheus cleared his throat. Excuse you, Chedito. Chedito gulped. You're right. I'm here to broaden my cultural horizons, so I'll try to be more open-minded. Good. Now, do you want anything from the vendor? No thanks. I had a big breakfast this morning, Chedito replied, watching the bodies burn. Prometheus pulled out his wallet. All of a sudden, a small child came running up to him, yanking on his pant leg. Uncle, uncle, the Indian child begged. Chedito gasped. The child in question had only one arm, one eye, and half of his face was badly disfigured and covered in scars. Here you go, little rascula, Prometheus responded, handing the child a few rupees. The child ran off
That's not okay, fuck it,
in a
whatever.
haste.
All right.
Wow, poor guy. I wonder how all
I have to ask, what's going on to our left of Gail's nose?
That crease?
No, there seems to be a blemish there that she should get checked out.
that happened to him at such a young
Oh yeah, that is a blemish. Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a mole that was not there before.
age. Ah, that was his mother or father that did that, Prometheus informed. Huh? They chopped up their kid? Why, yes. You see, children play a very important role in an Indian family. In the upper castes, children usually become doctors so they can move to the United States to make money and send it back home to their parents in India. The ones that aren't smart enough usually get married off to other relatives. As for the lower caste, well, the best way for children to earn money for their parents is to beg in the streets. The most successful beggar children are the disabled ones, so having a disabled child is very desirable in this culture. However, even though many Indian children are born with extra limbs, grotesque mutations, and rare diseases not seen anywhere else in the world, a lot of them are born perfectly normal other than being Indian. So in this culture, the parents will deliberately
Perfectly normal other than being born Indian. Got it. Okay.
disable their children by cutting off limbs, blinding them, or mangling their faces. I see, Chedito replied. I'm sorry if this sounds ignorant, but should we really be encouraging this sort of thing? Now, Chedito. I see your white side is showing, Prometheus chided, but it may comfort you to know that giving them money is the best way to keep these children intact. If that little boy didn't make any rupees today, his parents would have to chop off his other arm in an effort to increase profits. If he still didn't make enough rupees, they would move on to one of his legs. After that, they would take his other leg, and so on. In the end, he would just be a little half-blind torso begging in the streets and barely look human-shaped.
I hate this. I hate that.
Are you about to call it on a Gail video?
No. I just like I've seen a lot of fucked up horror movies, and I'm just like,
Oh no, it's horrific. India is a very horrific place.
Sure. Let's keep going.
Anymore. The men watched as the little boy ran up to his mother, tugging on her sleeve to show her the fresh rupees. His mother, who was also begging in the streets, held a silent infant in her arms. It's amazing that baby can sleep so peacefully among all this noise and in this heat, Chedito observed. That's because the baby is drugged, Prometheus explained. It's helping its mother beg. Indian infants are very good at making money for their mothers, but They need to stay sedated so their mother can work the streets. It's also possible that it's already dead, and the mother is holding on to it for as long as she can until its usability as a prop expires.
What the fuck?
Are you done yet? Are you gonna tap out?
Nope.
All right.
God damn, dude.
Said Chedito. He paused for a moment and thought, this place is a lot like Disneyland, but with human despair instead of happiness. Prometheus chuckled with delight. You have no idea. Trust me, there is no other place on Earth like India. He offered his pinky back to Chedito, and the two headed onward. Prometheus crunched into his pan puree as they walked. All of a sudden, Chedito's stomach began to churn. Before he realized it or could stop it, vomit came up from his throat and out of his nostrils. He gagged and started coughing it up. What is that smell? He managed to ask through his gasping. That, Prometheus replied. That means there's a bathroom nearby. A bathroom? But I don't see any nearby. They're about 20 yards from here if you need one. Just follow that smell. Those are mostly for special guests. If you're feeling especially ethnic, you could poop in the street like a local. I think I'll hold it, Chedito replied before immediately projectile vomiting. He heaved over and put his hands on his knees, emptying the final contents of his stomach onto the dusty ground in a puddle beneath him.
Jeff
Sensing
just
the
said
moist.
This was art. Don't you like art? Better like art, boy.
I'm
like
loving
art,
this.
boy.
Look, it is outsider art, and like really the very best expression of art is an art that makes you feel an emotion, right? Like that's what to me what art should be, and I don't care what that emotion is. It could be joy, it could be anger, it could be lust, it could be confusion, it could be disgust. But if it made
For
me
me,
feel
it's like uncomfortable.
It's art.
But what is it? Uncomfortability? Like I don't know what to. Sure.
I mean, I don't want to say revulsion
I'm
necessarily.
not
but
revolted. I feel like uncomfortable.
Yeah. I guess uncomfortable
Which is
probably
so weird because I'll have Gail on and she'll be the sweetest lady.
Well,
Like-
she didn't write this. Brent Spiner wrote it. Take it up
Sure.
with Brent.
Sure.
I think Brent Spiner's kind of a sicko, but I don't have to be married to him. So what am I? Who
You
the
know
fuck am
what
I?
though? When Gail met God in the last one,
Yeah.
God was like, Gail, the one who wants to destroy everything, basically.
True.
And
She
Gail
is the-
wasn't like, that's not true.
Yeah, Gail is kind of the destructor. That's very true.
She's Shiva.
She's Shiva. Yeah.
A naked Indian man rushed over to the puddle beneath Chedito, scooping up handfuls of the liquid and splashing his head with it to cool his face and wash his hair. He rubbed it generously into his dirty skin, cleansing himself, before taking one final scoop and quenching his thirst with it, then walking away. Let me make sure I'm still, okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Prometheus's eyes sparkled with tears at the sight. He put his hand on Chedito's shoulder. You have been blessed, my friend. Wow, Chedito said, hardly able to grasp the magnitude of the deeply cultural interaction that had just taken place. I'm honored. Prometheus wicked away a tear, envy in his heart. The event should be starting now. Let's make sure we get a good view. The two men finally made their way to the gathering, where they could see the local guru. Bole Baba appeared in the staging area, his presence hearkened by the ooga booga of dirt and feces-soaked Indians. Although Prometheus and Chedito could not remember all of the words said in this hour-long speaking event, they recounted that they were very moved by the guru's teachings and philosophies. He was a wise man with many helpful lessons to impart. As the guru exited the stage, the two were left in awe. Wow, I'm really glad I came, Chedito admitted. That guru gave me a lot to think about. Good.
Guru.
I'm glad you're falling in love with India.
Guru.
You know, I think I'm finally getting hungry. I could go for a hamburger right about now. All of a sudden, like the thunderous clap of a blackening storm cloud, a wave of silence fell over the crowd. Every Indian in the vicinity turned to look at Chedito, their black eyes glaring. Is it something I said? Chedito asked. Prometheus said, leaning in to explain. Cows are considered sacred animals in India. They don't eat beef here. Sacred animals.
It's because of Hinduism. So, because that's the religious majority and that controls the government there. There are plenty of Muslims and Sikhs and other like smaller religions in India, and they can eat beef, but beef is not sold because of the Hindu majority is what it is. Yeah.
Animals, Chedito inquired, but they don't even take care of them here. The cow.
My friend that I was talking about that got married, that was from India, he was a Sikh. It was crazy because when he moved to America, he cut his hair, which Sikhs don't do.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, you're supposed to never cut your hair and put it in a turban.
Right. If you see somebody that has a turban, usually they're a Sikh. They're not Hindu. Or
Muslim.
Or a Muslim, right? Muslims don't have to wear turbans.
There's
either.
a bracelet that they wear and a dagger. Actually,
and
they're one of the few people that can legally get a dagger onto an airplane.
Yep. It's true.
Yeah, it is true.
Are all starving and full of.
It's called the carpon.
Parasites. They wander the streets like feral dogs, pooping everywhere, while Indians literally wait nearby to drink their urine. You'd think they would keep them behind clean fences with nice green grass and... Chedito, Prometheus murmured in warning. Sorry, Chedito face-palmed with his fist. I'm so insensitive. Anger loomed behind the eyes of the Indians that surrounded them. One by one, they began to ooga booga. What's happening? Chedito asked nervously. Prometheus donned his poncho and face shield. Get ready to run, he said. Why? What's going on? It's a poop out. As if on cue, a wad of poop went sailing in Chedito and Prometheus's direction. It was like a match.
Okay, hang on. I have to point this out.
Okay.
I love this, but this is kind of just a reimagining of the chimp out of the Popeyes. It really is. Like, it's so
do
similar.
you like the last one better because it wasn't an extension of the Popeyes video? It was just like horribly racist in its own right.
Oh, I loved how horribly racist it was. It was incredible.
It was creative.
I don't know what my favorite Gail video necessarily would be. Maybe the death of Angelina Ballerina.
Ballerina, yeah.
The death of Angelina Ballerina was.
How did you find out about Gail? Was it from watching DP, or did you know about her?
I had heard of her once before, but I've been watching DP since episode 40 something or whatever the fuck. Like really, really early on. And when I watched you guys watching it, I was like, oh yeah, that lady. And that's how I actually really got into it, was actually because of DP, for sure.
To a puddle of gasoline, only poop. The crowd of Indians roared into a whooping frenzy, imploding in on itself in waves of violence, rape, and poop. Run! Chedito shouted.
I like how that was buried in the middle, the R word.
Yeah. The
two men made a run for it as fast as they could, parting their way blindly through the sea of bodies. Prometheus tapped on his watch, pinging my communicator. Brent, he shouted. We're in the middle of a class 4 poop out. We need rescue services immediately. I gasped upon.
I do want to say that that framed picture to the right, close to the door right there, I believe that is a needlepoint of the cover of Jesus the Eternal Bridegroom. Right.
It doesn't look like the cover of or at least the latest edition of Jesus the Eternal Bridegroom. Because
what is it then? It's a needlepoint, though. It looks like a needlepoint.
It's needlepoint in her art style for sure, but I don't think that's Jesus the Eternal Bridegroom. I've got 2 copies of that fucking book.
I do have one too. It's one of those books, though. I have a whole bunch of them, but I'll take your word for it.
Man,
back in the day, people used to buy us all of it. Like we.
Oh yeah.
I have all the old school Gail books in print.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. Dude.
There's a few that I don't have that I need to collect still.
I have all of them.
I have been known, and this has happened actually several times, to be having a party at my house, and then I just randomly bust out the book about Barack Obama's severed head.
Show us the books. Let me grab some of the books. Actually, I have to pee anyway.
Yeah. Go grab.
We'll get back into this too.
Yeah, absolutely. Would Jessica, Naked, Laughing, and Gail live in the same house as King Cobra? Probably not. You got to keep in mind that Gail could not live in the same house as those people because Gail is very faithful to the Gail commandments. Gail is all about making sure that she has good personal hygiene. She takes her Seroquel. She does what needs to be done. I don't think she could live in the same house as Jessica or Josh. I don't think that's a thing that could ever happen, to be honest with you. Don't think so. Yeah, Gail is not gross. No, she's very clean. Very, very clean. Gail takes very good care of herself. It's too bad Scoot will never hear these. It's okay. Scoot lived these. It's all right. They never lived together. I mean, probably not. Gail is disgrace. Really? Has Gail commented on King Cobra? Really? I didn't even know that. You would let Gail cook for you. I would probably let Gail cook for me as well. Yeah. I almost got a chance to see Gail at one point. I was going to be, well, she doesn't live in Florida anymore, but I was going to be going to Florida for work at one point, and I was very excited because I thought that might be my chance to like sneak over and be like, Gail, I'm going to take you out to dinner. Let's go hang out. But yeah, she doesn't live anywhere near where I go on tour anymore. So far, it looks like I don't get to have my Gail experience. Would you rather wake up next to Jared or wake up next to Shani and Rev? Unironically, Shani and Rev. I hate that I say that. I'm really disgusted with myself. But I got to be real with you. Like, legit. I would way rather wake up thinking I porked those two than have anything to do with Jared. Yeah. Javis Commissioner can get that total shot Egghead promised. And Gail's the best all call by far. Yeah, I mean, you know what? As the commissioner, I can definitely put some work into finding out some information for you on that. And that's totally not just a cop-out answer because I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Nah. Just saying. Oh, Ben showed her Cobra. Oh, cool. Title shot the Egghead promised. Gotcha. Would you rather wake up next to Shani and Rev or Cobes and Jessica? Now, that is a good question. Let me think about that. Cobes and Jessica. Yeah, Cobes and Jessica. I would rather wake up out of a blackout with Cobes and Jessica for sure, rather than Shani and Rev.
All right.
Because
So,
okay,
sorry.
This might be kind of telling. This might be kind of telling on myself. But like I've known a lot of really strange couples where it's like a pretty Boglum-looking dude and like a pretty mediocre lady.
I've seen
and,
that
like,
so many. Or, no, I've seen like a 10 with a Boglum-looking dude.
Right. Well, I mean, like, I'm not even going to go with the 10, but like
In Seattle,
you know,
with all the tech bros, you'll find a
I know, but-
Boglum-looking dude with a 10.
Right. He's got a lot of money and shit. But what I'm trying to say is like, you know, I've been around for a long time, and I've been around where like there's a 5 or a 6 with the Boglum dude, and like shit just happens, and you kind of like end up fucking around, you know. So it's really not that much of a stretch to go from like a very mediocre person to just kind of an ugly person. Like it's fine, like whatever. But Shani and Rev, the only one that is more disgusting to me than Shani and Rev to like accidentally have sex with would definitely be Jared, like 100%.
Oh, yeah. Jared's the worst.
Yeah, Jared is legit the worst.
So,
the worst.
My books are packed away to a place where I can't reasonably get to them. But I found something really interesting while I was looking. This is actually the original Ben mask from like the early, like when I first started being on camera.
Yeah.
It's the original Ben mask, which is really
Yeah.
cool. I didn't
That's
even know
dope.
that I still had it.
That's some history right there, baby.
Yeah, yeah.
Would I rather wake up next to Sturgis or Gail? Gail is actually a beautiful woman.
On hearing the message, "Oh no," I replied. "Get out of there as fast as you can. Is everyone else with you?" "Chedito is right behind me. We're holding pinkies so it's not gay and we won't get lost." "What about Lori? She told us she would be attending." "Oh no, you're right. We have to find her." "Yes, find her and make sure all 3 of you get to safety. We can't get an accurate lock on you guys in the middle of all those Indians, especially during a Class 4 poop out. Once you get away from the hive, we can
Class
safely
4
beam you
poop
out.
out.
We're on it, Brent." Bravely, the
Is it
2 men
like
turned back into the brown storm. They couldn't leave Lori behind. Luckily, in the chaos, the Indians were now pooping out so hard and throwing so much poop, they barely noticed Chedito and Prometheus in particular. Prometheus pulled out 2 cans of Lysol and tossed one to Chedito. "Here, this should help." Chedito knew exactly where this was going. Recalling his newfound education about Indian people, he pressed down on the button and let out a spray. The Indians in their path came to an unsteady halt and began to scatter away in all directions, avoiding the Lysoled areas. "I get it," Chedito said. "The Lysol disrupts the Indian pheromone trails. Without it, there's no path for them to follow, so they get confused and wander off somewhere else." "Now you're thinking," Prometheus praised. The 2 men high-fived and began spraying their way through the crowd.
All right, I got it back.
Lori McBride was on the other side of the wall of Indians, trying to navigate through the raging poop out. She gripped her head covering closely around her for protection, bumping through Indians like a crowded pinball game. Splat! Flying poop collided with Lori's head covering. Grossed out, she modestly pulled the dirtied head covering off and decided to go without. That was a big mistake. The sight of a blonde white woman was enough to make every Indian head turn. The winds of the storm were changing. Lori looked all around her at the beady black eyes now glittering at her with depraved perversion. An Indian man standing close to Lori gave her a sniff, trying to find her vagina. The smell of fresh soap, deodorant, and laundry detergent hijacked its way through his pheromone system. He began glitching out. Stunned and twitching, he started shambling off in another direction. Another Indian man approached Lori. Hi,
We both
dear.
left.
Can you open up your cloth? Excuse me, Laurie asked, grasping her Indian garb tightly around her.
There was a
Yet another Indian
miscommunication. I
came
did
up
not
to-
realize he was leaving. We both left. Yes, you're alone with her.
Beside her. You are so bootyful. Show me your...
There was a dono. All right, give me a minute. All right, let's see. The black mask is from when Ben was in NWO, and white before the mask was red for NWO Wolfpack. Yes. That is true.
Vegana.
New
My what?
New world order.
Hello, bitch lasagna, said another Indian man. Laurie was growing very frightened. As a former Jesuit, she was well accustomed to rape. In fact, she rather liked rape. But the way these Indian men approached
shit,
her
you're wearing
was
that
very
now?
different.
Indeed.
That looks like Sexy Star's mask.
I don't know who that is, but
She was a woman luchador who here I'll show you her.
Purple is a masculine color, you know, it's fine. It's cool. It's kind of similar a little bit, yeah. Like kind of.
Very similar.
Yeah, absolutely.
She did
She's my girlfriend.
MMA too. And she did she kind of got banned from the business because she shooted and beat the shit out of some girl once. But yeah, she did like ESPN. They would do like ESPN The Body Issue. There was like Gina Carano like naked throwing a kick covering her boobs with her arm back in the day.
Okay.
And she did Sexy Star did ESPN The Body Issue like naked in the wrestling ring kind of thing.
Okay.
Back in the day.
So the funny thing about this mask though is I bought this mask years and years and years ago when I was actually going to be coming and meeting you guys like in real life for the first time. Yeah. I that's when I first bought this fucking mask, and then I forgot it before I actually came up, and it's just been like sitting in my fucking costume trunk this entire time. Yeah.
I have the mask that I like better.
Makes my nose itchy.
Dude, imagine
I feel like there's
wearing
spiders.
Imagine wearing that for like a 10-hour stream. It's just stupid. Yeah. Like this is the one most people remember. And I have a couple of these. Anyway, we got to finish.
The standard way Indian men propositioned women was far more disgusting than anything the Jesuits would ever do. As each Indian approached her, the smell of her clean clothes and freshly washed body tampered with their pheromone system. One by one, the Indian men approaching her for rape each began glitching out. Like ants, the confused and lost Indians began moving in a spiral pattern around Laurie. They knew there was a vagina present, a white one at that, but their navigation system couldn't seem to find it. Prometheus and Chedito soon noticed the horny Indian vortex ahead of them. Look, Chedito, Prometheus said, something over there is causing all the Indians to glitch out. They're forming a death spiral. A death spiral? Yeah, just like ants. When the pheromone system in a swarm of Indians becomes completely disrupted, they will spiral endlessly in an infinite circle until they begin to exhaust themselves to death. They will then begin throwing off all of their dead into a center pile and will continue to spiral around it as the pile builds. One of the befuddled Indian men slammed into an Indian woman in the crowd. On reflex, he immediately began raping her. More and more of the Indian men began colliding with...
Oh my God. I just want to point this out. How did this happen? How did this happen?
How did what happen?
I just want to point out that haven't seen... so I see Egged right here.
Egged.
And then,
I love Egged.
And then all of a sudden, Honest Red right here comments like immediately after. It's almost like he was waiting.
It's almost like they're the same
Egged
person.
to say something.
Huh. Yeah, I've got a costume trunk. I like to role play. What?
The Indian women in the circle, and they all started to rape. Oh no! I hope whatever is glitching out these Indians isn't causing them to. Oh no! What is it? Chidito asked. Prometheus gulped. You know the term fight or flight? Yeah. Well, when Indians get spooked, their neurological response is...
That was the racist word Jeff Holiday used earlier, by the way.
A rumble began. All of the Indians ooga-booga'd ominously as they grew more agitated. The rapings continued and ramped up in intensity. Indians go into rape and stampede, Prometheus shouted. Chidito screamed, oh my God! The vortex of confused, horny Indians spiraled out of control, building to hurricane intensity. Then, like animals, they all began trampling each other in the fray. As Indians died from stomping or rape, they all began getting tossed into the center of the death spiral, which is exactly where Laurie McBride was, trapped. All Laurie could do was dodge and jump and attempt to shield herself using her garb. A raped Indian woman got tossed toward the pile, sailing right toward Laurie. In that moment, time seemed to lag.
So, Jeff.
Yes.
A lot of people are critical of your role as Actual Mania commissioner, and I think tonight might be the best night for you to flex your muscles because honestly, like, there's been the greatest rivalry in Actual Mania history building. And I think some people say we should wait until Mania, but I feel like that's so much time for it to like not happen that we should probably just do it at SummerSlam in August. And it's probably Egghead versus Honest Red. And I don't know, maybe it should just be like loser leaves town. Like,
ooh, okay. All right. Well, like, okay. Wanting to postpone something like that until Actual Mania, it makes sense in so much as like you want the main ticket event. However, you also got to maintain the business, and the business
that would be main event. Like who cares about who has the belt? That would be the main event of SummerSlam.
Right. It doesn't even matter. Titles don't matter. What matters is who is going to stand and who is going to fall. I am very intrigued by this concept. I'm very intrigued by that. You know what?
Yeah, I would say like if Honest Red, okay. If Egghead, if either person loses, they're done with Actual Mania. They can still be in the Discord. But they can't talk about anything Actual Mania related.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, because they're banned from Actual Mania.
Damn. Well, they voluntarily have to step away.
I guess Egghead has a promo, but we need to get through Gail here, and then we'll do it.
As if in slow motion, the Indian woman flew past her, followed by a wad of poop. Laurie opened her mouth to let out a scream. That was when the poop collided with Laurie and hit her right in the vagina.
Oh.
The crowd exploded. Now that the Indian men could locate Laurie's
How did they
vagina
explode?
it was on, milk
Oh, no.
truck has arrived, shouted an Indian man, throwing himself onto Laurie. Laurie McBride screamed. All of the Indians in the swarm began running a train on Laurie, raping her one by one. Each Indian would rape her until exhaustion, then fall dead before being pushed into the death pile as another Indian took its place. "It's Laurie!" Chedito shouted. "That's what triggered all the Indians to rape and stampede."
Fuck! Okay. I mean, okay. So she's kind of like a typhoid Mary, though. You know, right? Like, true, she may be subjected to the most horrible degradations and assaults upon her body, but she, in her biology, is predisposed to then kill them. Why? Why do they die?
That makes sense, Prometheus determined. Indian men are highly attracted to white women, despite the lack of poop in their vaginas. But isn't that bestiality? Chedito asked. For a white person, yes, clarified Prometheus, but Indians actually think they're people. That's insane. We have to go help her. The men shook their Lysol cans and began spraying their way through the dangerous rape and stampede vortex to get to Laurie. An Indian man pounced onto Prometheus like a rabid jungle monkey, hissing and drooling in an attempt to rape. Prometheus took his Lysol can and sprayed the Indian directly in the mouth, causing him to gag and fall to the ground. Upon reaching the eye of the death spiral, Chedito leapt bravely into the center, grabbing Laurie by the hand. "I've got you, Laurie!" Chedito pulled, but it was no use. It was a tug-of-war with hundreds of Indians. He shook the Lysol can. "Hey," he yelled, "the 1950s called. They want their douches back." He promptly and heroically unloaded a cold blast of Lysol directly into Laurie's vagina. The Indians ooga-booga'd loudly in disgust, then became disoriented, scrambling into each other and ping-ponging around in confusion before wandering back off into the death spiral. Laurie collapsed onto the ground, unconscious. Chedito picked her up, fleeing the scene. He ran to catch up with Prometheus, who was still madly spraying the Indians away. The group fled the poop out and made their escape all the way back to the space pods. The space pods were so contaminated.
The poop out!
Thanks, I hate it. God damn it. What the fuck, dude?
Contaminated from sitting in India, we decided to abandon them and simply beam everyone back up to Church of Gail. Once on board, Laurie was rushed to the emergency room in our sick bay. Chedito and Prometheus were treated for minor injuries and were subject to decontamination with our infectious disease control team. The two were then able to give me a fully detailed account of everything that had happened. I decided that the most ethical course of action would be to beam up all of the raped and injured Indians, mostly women, onto Church of Gail in order to administer critical medical care. An unfortunate side effect of our humanitarian efforts is that a large section of Church of Gail became a biohazard zone and had to be thoroughly decontaminated. As I'm writing to you now, the quarantine on the areas in and around the medical deck has been lifted, and survivors have been safely beamed back home to India. Chedito, Prometheus, and Laurie McBride are all receiving psychological counseling with Gerard Butler. They appear to be suffering from PTSD. Once again, the day was saved by Church of Gail. I want to say thank you again to our newest $25 Patreon member, Chedito. He experienced literal hell on earth on his first impromptu mission. My friend, I apologize that it will likely take weeks for you to get the smell of India out of your pores. Just imagine, Indians can never get that smell out of their pores even when they leave India. I never thought I could sincerely say this to a person, but be thankful you were born a Mexican. As for me, I am of course safe and right beside my beautiful wife once again. In bed and in our shared apartment together is where I most like to be. Your husband, Brent Spiner.
Whoo, shit!
In a world of secrets, where darkness reigns, there's a warrior rising.
It's another AI song.
She's Gail, poor shoulder, her heart pure and strong. With the power of love, she'll right the world's wrongs. Yeah, fighting against the gentleman order. She's a first, a passionate crusader. Stand by the side of conquer it all. Through space battles and trials, they'll never fall. They'll control a hero in the night. When Spider has been ready to fight, together they'll soar through the galaxy wide, defending truth and love with unwavering pride.
There you go.
Woo, buddy. All right.
Remind me, what did I say we were going to talk about after the Gail video? God damn.
Egged's promo.
Oh, yeah. Oh, shit. You're right.
Yeah,
Here it is.
We got to do some Actual Mania stuff before we wrap up.
Here it is. Here it is.
It has been 2 months now since I left the server. And on the daily, I get multiple DMs from various people asking and begging, saying that I should come back to the server.
All right. Yeah. Honestly, Egghead, though, you made the choice to leave. I didn't say, like, you are the one that removed yourself. This whole,
Why did you
like,
leave?
because Honest Red is there. Like, he's trying to do this thing. It's kind of manipulative, where it's like, oh, Honest Red has to leave or I won't come back.
Oh.
Yep. And that just, Egghead, you have to understand that it makes you not look so good to do this. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, and I'm on Egghead's side.
No.
Egghead.
I like Egghead. I want him to come back. I'm just saying to take this. It doesn't. You didn't think this through very well.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. You know, it's one of those things. Like, you got to stay and you got to fight. You got to stand on your principles. You know what I mean? You don't want to be in a place where your mental health is constantly attacked. I get that. But we are also watching the video. You know, like, I think we're still in it, man. We're still in it. So I don't know.
Dude, Egghead, with this my mental health shit, you sound like Boogie, dude. Like my mental health shit.
Wait, and that's low. Boogie sucks.
No, I'm saying terrible. Like you being like, oh, you guys, if you want me back, Red should be banned for my mental health. It sounds like Honest Red is just a guy trolling you on the internet.
Yeah, but I mean, just don't equivocate with fucking Boogie, because Boogie's also like, you know, like there's a lot more things that are more fucked up about Boogie.
I'm not saying he is Boogie. I'm saying he's using a Boogie form of argumentation right here.
To come back to the server, please come back to...
Yeah, he's using a thing that he would believe to be off limits that you can't criticize because it's his mental health, but it's literally just some dude that is in, like, on the internet that really can't do anything to him.
The server, Egghead. We love you. We miss you. Really?
I do.
Why should I come back to the server? when the
Because we love
guy
you.
who made it his life goal to make my life a living hell and is pretty much the main reason why I left the server in the first place is still there. Why should I come back and be in that area?
This is a campaign to get Honest Red banned, is what this is. And he should really be approaching this in a different way.
You know, I got to tell you, Egg, I have to put up with Honest Red. You know, I don't want to, but I mean, I still have to. Granted, Honest Red doesn't really troll me. He tries, but he's just really fucking terrible at it. So, you know.
And he's still
you just,
there.
You just gotta be like me. Gotta be bulletproof, Bubba.
And yes, Egg is living in a nicer apartment and has a girlfriend now. So yes, that is
Nice,
cool.
dude.
Yeah. That's not what this is about. That's not like who's like Egghead. I don't think him leaving the server made that happen. I think that happened on its own. But I think that's a weird like correlation does not equal causation type of thing. But yeah, if you're happy or not being in the server, then don't come back. But I think it's weird to be like, I want to come back, but you got to ban Honest Red first.
I will actually make the very scientific argument that when you tell Honest Red to go fuck himself, you will get a girlfriend.
Sure, whatever. I mean, like he's been saying that the whole time. It didn't happen instantly, so that's like tactical soap works kind of argument.
You just gotta wait patiently, troll.
Yep.
Now, I'm pretty sure you guys watched the previous Drunken Peasants episode where I got a call from Ben and he pulled me in, and lo and behold, the scumbag was there as well. And it pretty much just ended up in a shouting match.
Yeah, that's how you push a card in Actual Mania.
To where I had to literally shout so fucking loud, my voice was almost gone the next day.
Yep.
And the reason why I had to shout so much, because he wouldn't let me get a word in edgewise.
Of course.
He wouldn't let me get a word in edgewise. And not only that, he still denies everything that he's ever done to me. He still denies all the crap that he's pulled against me. Either that or he's constantly trying to justify it.
I don't protect anybody, by the way.
Lying, liars, lie. And he is a full-blown narcissist who lies all the time. There's not a truthful bone in that scumbag's body. Oh, but Egghead, he honored your father. One time. And that's supposed to fucking, negate everything he's done to me. One little fucking honoring of my fucking father is supposed to negate everything that piece of shit has ever done to me in my entire fucking 3 years.
I mean,
you're getting close with that word, Egghead.
I'm digging. I love Egg's promos. I think they're good.
Yeah. Oh, dude, he's like one of the best performers in Actual Mania.
What simple fucking honoring?
Oh shit.
No. He's never once apologized. Ever. He even said on screen that I'm not worthy of an apology. Me, I'm not worthy of an apology from the great and mighty scumbag that is this piece of filth that will forever be nameless to me.
He's not nameless. By the way, it's not nameless. All of Egghead's promos are about Honest Red. I'll be like, Egghead, you have a match against Rat Lord. And he'll talk about Rat Lord for like 2 minutes of it, and then the rest will be about Honest Red and how he's mad at Honest Red. So, like, if he's nameless, then stop talking about him. I'm not making you... Up till this point, I'm like, Egghead, you don't have to go against Honest Red. But now it's like every promo you do is about Honest Red and how you're mad at Honest Red. So what is this now? Like, I can't let all of your promos be against Honest Red and be like, all right, well, I won't make you go against Honest Red because, like, you just talk about him every fucking time you make an actual Mania video.
Where did this animosity come from?
Oh, I mean, like, you know.
Like, what was
Egghead's easy to troll and Honest Red likes to troll him? I mean, that's probably the simplest way of putting it.
What was, like, Egghead, if you're out there, what was the first time he stepped over the line? What was it? What was that very first time he stepped over the line and really got under your skin? That's what I'm curious about. Because that right there, that's what we got to
I don't defend anyone. If you're saying I'm defending one over the other, you're full of shit. I don't care if you have a bias or not. I'm not, like, asking you to agree with me or anything, but I don't defend people. I'm pretty fair about it. Egghead is also, like, he has a very strong bias towards himself, and he'll see things in a way that's...
What does that mean?
Egghead will talk shit about Honest Red, but be like, he's not allowed to talk shit about me. And he does it all the time, and he thinks he can do it. But then it's going to happen the other way. And that's what I've been saying.
Okay. I guess I get what you're saying. I mean, that just sounds like literally everybody on the fucking planet to me. But, you know.
And yet I have to apologize for my fuck-ups to the glory that is this motherfucker. Oh, how dare I step out of line for you. Oh, let's bow down and suck your fucking micro dick.
God damn.
Did he say macro or micro?
Micro. He said micro. Yeah.
But no, I have to fucking... But he can't... But he will never fucking apologize to me for all the shit that he's done. And if he even did apologize to me, which he's never done, he's always done it half-assed. Meaning he never fucking meant it. Pretty much an example of a half-assed apology is this. Oh, well, I'm sorry that you felt that way, but I didn't mean it that way. So we're good, right? No.
Wait. No. I'm agreeing with Egg on that. When people say that kind of shit, they're full of shit. That is like the most half-assed.
Honest Red is definitely full of shit.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Super full of shit. That's just manipulative garbage.
He's definitely full of shit.
Yeah, that's manipulative garbage from people who just like want to fucking placate enough so they can get away with just being shitty. Like, nah, dude. Yeah.
And Egghead could easily overcome this.
We're not good. We're never going to be good because you constantly have made it your life goal for the past, almost 3, 4, 5 years now? Making my life a living hell? For what? The enjoyment? The lulz? The entertainment? You're nothing but a scumbag high school bully who thinks he can constantly push other people around. But yet when the fucking victim tries to fight back, you cry victim. And you try to be the savior that you want to be in your own fucked up world because, why are you trying to be the fucking savior mentality all of a sudden? Oh, because you come from a fucking victimized people.
Didn't Honest Red cause the Chaz zone?
Yeah, I think it was there. He orchestrated it.
I saw it. I've got video evidence. We're going to make that lore.
We're all victims in this fucked up world. Oh no, I fucked up again. I apologize. And to be honest, I don't want anything to do with this scumbag. In my history of DP and this show of Actual Mania.
He's about to say something that's not true. He's always had, like, an enemy long before it was Honest Red. Like, he's always had, like, somebody he's been at odds with and didn't want around. No.
I mean, he was even at odds with me at one point.
Yes.
By the way,
he had Scott blocked on Twitter. Egghead does invite his own kind of drama on his own.
I got a question. So one of the things that Egg was pissed off at me about with the whole commissioner thing was that I didn't end up doing the interviews with the actual Mania champions. Did he end up doing those?
No, but I'm not gonna call him out for that.
I will, because that was part of the whole thing. He's like, "Why didn't you do it, dude?" I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, then you can be my little buddy, and you can do it. You got my blessing. Just go do it."
I've known Egghead longer than most people here, and Egghead has always had some kind of drama with somebody that he acts like he doesn't want, but keeps feeding into. This has been a thing his whole time. I like the guy, and I love him. I've always asked him back.
Yeah,
and we have our fun, and I like him, and I'm nice to him. And I think people have selective memories that maybe haven't been paying attention long enough. But that's fine. We all choose what we want to believe. But Egghead has always been a lightning rod for drama since I first met him. And other people wrote him off, like other hosts of this show in the past. And I still decided to be cool with him and be his friend. But I'm not going to ignore it. When I see blatant hypocrisy.
Egghead is champion material. He's always been champion material.
If you go back and watch actual Mania, when I cast a vote, because I show the results of all the voting, I'll vote Egghead to the top of most of those. Because I always thought Egghead was the main character of actual Mania. And I always wanted that story where he would rise to the top as the underdog every time.
This is how I see it. Egghead is and has always been champion material. But the thing is, the problem with champions, me, the actual Mania commissioner, speaking in my official capacity, champions are always going to be prima donnas. You gotta have a firm yet loving hand in dealing with them. That's just how it works. Part of the biz, man. It's part of the biz. You gotta treat them. You gotta treat them like princesses, right? So we gotta coddle them a little bit, and then sometimes you give them a little bit of the tough love, I don't know. I've been drinking since noon, dude. I'm fucking pooped.
Egghead started the shocking his nuts thing on his own. He started doing his own streams. He saw us doing the streams of us shocking ourselves and started doing his own shocking himself, shocking his nuts streams on his own. I never pressured him. You're misinformed. And being a Karen and being possibly a little bit of a concern troll. That's fine.
People, and he's the third. You all see why I don't ever want to come back. Because he's protected in that server. He's protected in that fucking server. So why should I ever come back to that place? Why should I be in a place where he's fucking protected? Why should I ever come back where he breaks?
I pointed out earlier that I think it was kind of weird how Egghead said something and Honest Red said something immediately after. It is kind of weird, Honest Red was waiting.
Majority of the fucking rules in that server gets into fights with fucking mods and calls for their dismissal. And yet doesn't get fully punished, banned, or even kicked from the server. Hell, people have been banned and kicked for far less, and yet he still gets to constantly break the rules in that server. Why? I will never know. So, I know y'all are remaking your matches soon for the next month's actual Mania. You could put me with, if you put me with this scumbag against me against this scumbag.
Nope, not for the next one. I mean, it's as simple as this, Egghead. Stop making promos about Honest Red, and we won't put you against Honest Red. I mean, like, you're going to make every video about Honest Red, then how can I not want to put you against him? All of your promos are against Honest Red. I'll be like, you're against Rat Lord, and you'll make a promo, like a 10-minute promo, and 5 minutes of it is about Rat Lord, and then the rest of it is about Honest Red. So at least half of it is about how you hate Honest Red, and you're calling him out.
I hate him.
Okay.
But y'all are going to do what you want to do anyway. I'm out.
Well, I love you, Egg. I love you a lot. You know, we're gonna have to sit down and maybe figure out a way that we can build. Because I like this idea. I like this idea for our big.
I just want to put it out there. Y'all are full of shit if you think I pressure Egghead to do anything. Egghead literally did all of the shit. Like, Egghead how did Egghead get a shock collar? Was I like, Egghead, I'm buying you a shock collar? No, he bought it himself. He saw we were shocking ourselves for money, and he was like, oh, I'll shock myself for money. This whole, like, weird, manipulative, feel sorry for Egghead shit is bullshit. Plain and simple.
Come here. Hi. Come here. Oopa. Come here. Oh, gosh. Oh, God. Oh, jeez. Sorry, I'm drunk and I have a dog now.
Very cute dog.
I think there's space to be made where we can maybe get a big event going on, maybe a leave town event. But right now, both of them seem kind of prima donna about it. Honest Red's like, oh, whatever, I'm just
See, Egghead literally in the fucking chat, I never pressured him to do shot color or anything. Okay, Karen. Okay, Karen. Okay, Karen. Okay, Karen.
All right.
It's such bullshit. Like, I'm tired of these. Like, if you don't like it, like, I never had a problem with you, but if you want to have a problem, we can have a problem. Like, I really, like, whatever, man. Like, it's stupid. Stupid. Bullshit.
Yeah. You know it's not stupid. My dog. My dog! Oh, rah, 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 rah. Jo. Oh, wait, come here.
How much does your dog weigh?
I don't.
Your mic died somehow.
Oh, fuck. Hello?
Yes.
Oh, shit. Not a lot. Oh, fuck. My dog just scratched open my leg. I'm bleeding like a fucking
Holy shit. He probably needs his nails cut.
I burned the fuck out of my leg on an exhaust pipe on my motorcycle, and her nail caught my burn and ripped it open. Okay. Anyway, that's a lot of fun rambunctiousness. I think we could probably figure out a really cool event here in the future, but right now, both on
I thought that's what we were building to. Like, if you...
I think they're both being kind of little bitches about it.
Almost definitely, but I think other people are talking to them and giving them, like, probably very bad information, it kind of seems. I see a couple of them.
I think Egg needs to calm down and come back to his senses. I think Honest Red needs to stop getting on his fucking high horse and be like, oh, I'm fucking retired, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, no. Like, if Honest Red is going to keep talking his shit but won't do the match, then he'll just have to have special rules imposed on him.
Right.
Like I was saying, it has to end there. We need a final definitive end. And even if, I don't want to necessarily ban people from the show and the server, but maybe we should ban like actual Mania type stuff.
I'm
don't
just
know.
saying that right now we're in like passive aggressive Cold War from both of these two fucks, and that they should finally like square off in the ring, in fucking actual Mania, and we should get some actual answers. That's what I think we should do. Put up or shut up. Like that's what needs to fucking happen. No more of this posturing, none of this bullshit. Just match head to head. Two fucking champions. Let's see what fucking happens. That's what I want to see. That's where the story should go. Not this like, fuck that shit.
Ben, stop protecting Honest Egg. Damn.
Damn, Ben. Called out. I've been day drinking.
Yeah, I was evening drinking. It's like a different feel. Like you're like, but you're still drinking the claws. Do you remember when you got called out for drunk driving because you were drinking the claws?
Oh, because
Yeah.
I wasn't even holding a fucking.
You weren't in the driver's seat.
I wasn't in the driver's seat. It was an unopened claw, and it was a picture of I posted with me holding it, saying "Ain't no laws when you're doing claws." And somebody like absolutely lost their shit, and they're like, "You promote drunk driving, you piece of shit." Fucking dipshit. People are dumb.
Did you see Marianne Williamson talk? How do you feel about her?
You showed it to me last time.
No. There's a new one that she did today. She did an interview today.
Today?
Yes.
I haven't seen it.
Want to go to Marianne Williamson? Remember
on Fox News.
Her very intriguing presidential candidate, spoke her mind, fought the good fight, and then stepped out of the race when Joe Biden had all but wrapped it up. He has easily wrapped it up now. He is the nominee of the party. As you know, many people in the party are calling that into question. She is back in that race with a message for an open convention. Think of me, Marianne Williamson, with us now. Marianne, very good to have you back.
Oh, thank you. Wonderful to be with you, Neil. Thank you.
So, you know what people are saying, it's an uphill fight for you or virtually anyone else in this environment. So far, the president is not giving up, not relinquishing a thing. He says, I got those delegates. You just can't sort of pluck them away from me. What do you think?
Well, he did get those delegates, but the people who voted for him before last Thursday's debate. This is an emergency for the Democratic Party, and we need to handle this, and we need to handle it quickly.
And she's 70, by the way.
Yeah, but she's so spry, and she's full of life compared to the other guys. Honest Red says, I'm happy to take on Jeff for the commissioner role at Summer Scam.
You don't get that.
Too bad. No, you don't get that.
You got to beat Egghead for that.
Yeah, you have to take on my assistant fucking commissioner, my lieutenant commissioner, if you want to even get a chance at me.
And then, like, if you don't want to, I'll give it to you if you beat Egghead. But if you don't and you want to stay retired, then I'm going to have to make a new rule. You know, most of the rules I make are because of Honest Red. But then it's funny. It's funny because I'll make a rule because of Honest Red, but then he'll like try to break all the rules and claim everyone else is breaking them.
No, he's saying this shit.
Hold on. He'll claim. I've made so many rules because of Honest Red, but then what he'll do is he'll try to claim like other people are breaking the rules and that why the rules shouldn't matter. But I've made them literally because Honest Red whined about things. So. I mean, like, there's going to be another rule because of Honest Red where, like, if you're retired, then you can't talk as if you're part of actual Mania. And I'll do the same thing with Egghead. I'll be like, Egghead, Honest Red's retired, so you can't talk trash about him.
That's what I was talking about. He's trying to say use Egghead as a shield. Listen, man, you're the one that was like, I'm retired from actual Mania. If you're retired from actual Mania, then sit the fuck down. But if you're not retired, if you're coming out of retirement, you start at the bottom. The bottom. This I retired and come straight back to the top. Nah. Didn't work for fucking The Rock. Didn't work for John fucking Cena. Didn't work for any of those fucking people back in the day. Got to start at the bottom, work your way back up. You want to get to me? Got to go through Egg. Sorry, man. That's how it works. Otherwise, kiss my fucking ass. I'm a busy man. I'm busy in the backhand, like running the finances of actual Mania, wheeling and dealing, lying and stealing, trying to get all them international fucking deals for Actual Mania. What are you doing? Sitting around and be like, how can I make Egghead more upset? Dude, fuck off. You ain't even on my level. Step the fuck off and piss all the way away. Don't even care. Don't even care.
I didn't ask you. I'm saying, like, that's the big one that people would pay to watch. If both people aren't willing to do it, because he said I asked him, like, I'm not going to give you. No, people don't want to watch you versus Jeff. They want to watch you versus Egghead, and they want some stakes on the line.
Right.
And Egghead, to his own fault, he keeps doing it, making videos about you. His promos, go back and watch the last 2 Actual Manias. He's had matches against 2 different people, but his promos are like 90% about Honest Red. So it's like, Egghead, you can't cry about Honest Red talking shit about you when you keep making videos about him. So I'm going to have to ban both of you for talking about each other. Like, if this isn't going to happen. I just want it to happen.
Yeah.
And then just like, it's not me protecting him. It's about being fair. It's about, like, figuring this shit out because they're both doing it. It doesn't matter whose side you're on.
Right. And I have the utmost confidence that in that kind of a matchup, like, not only would Egghead be victorious and Honest Red would be sent packing, but I would still be secure in my position unchallenged. Like, that's how much faith I have in Egghead. I have absolute faith in Egghead. That's just how it goes.
I always book Actual Mania with Egghead's trajectory in the middle of it.
Sure, of course.
And the last few times, like, you can go back and look at all those episodes, I always push him, like, through the middle.
If you were to, okay, I really have to go soon because I'm fucking drunk as shit.
It's cool, dude.
If we were to compare Egghead to a legendary wrestler in wrestling history, who would you pick?
I always go back to my favorite era, which was like mid 80s to mid 90s.
Yeah.
You know, I can't. It's hard to put Egghead into a place because he constantly resists where I want to put him, and he probably has like oppositional defiance disorder. Like he wants to, like, I'll tell him like what to do, and he'll do like the exact opposite, which every time backfires on him. Well, actually, no. There was a few times where like he was like, I don't know what.
Bored.
There was a few times where he was like, I don't know what to do, and I picked his videos, and then he won.
Yeah, no, for sure, absolutely. Sorry, that was really mean to me.
No, I don't care.
Oh, okay, all right. What is Actual Mains? Actual Mania is our main event, our Patreon show where people go head to head. And try and win like cringerweight titles and tag team titles and that sort of thing. Produce content, and they go to head to head. Just incredible members of the community.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is what it is. I am gonna go ahead and say I don't want to gas up Egg too much. So I'm gonna be a little less awesome to him. So I'm not gonna say he's like a Hulkamania. I'm not going to say he's necessarily like a John Cena.
I can't answer the question. Oh, shut up, you boring ass piece of shit, Jeff.
What? I love John Cena. John Cena's amazing.
No, you're just trolling me now.
John Cena's the best wrestler ever. No, I was going to say like late 80s, early 90s when Macho Man did his hardcore babyface run and had all that momentum right before we got Ultimate Warrior. That's my egg. That's my egg.
What I'll do is I will do an actual
Macho Man.
The Actual Mania match between Honest Red and Egghead. I think would absolutely be for trolling rights. And
that would be good, actually, yeah.
And if Egghead wins, Honest Red will have to like basically never talk about Egghead again.
That would be pretty good. That would actually be that. You know what?
Like within my purview.
That's pretty good.
Anyway,
that's pretty good. I like that. I can't equate Egghead with Mankind because Mankind can
George
roll
the
punches
Animal Steel.
way
No,
more.
see, the problem with Egghead is and I was getting to this. Egghead didn't take my advice. Egghead is a natural heel, but he wants to be a babyface.
Well, that's why he's the Macho Man, dude. That's why he's Randy Savage, because he comes at this with this intensity of like, honest red.
Oh my God.
You coming at me day after day, trying to get in the Egghead's fucking mind. Yeah. You're coming at me trying to get under my fucking skin.
Are you stripping for us?
No. What kind of thunder you're calling down right now, brother? Yeah. Like, that's Egg. That's Egg. He just needs to embrace it and really go crazy. Or smoke a lot of crack. Both would be very good. Yeah. But that's my champion. That's my Egg. I love Egg. It's great.
I try to push Egghead to the championship pretty, like, with, obviously, I'm not going to, like, rig the voting, but I usually try to put him in a position where he can shine every time, because
I think if I beat Jeff's proxy, then that's the same as beating Jeff, and I should get the role. You can think a lot of shit. But right now, you're just thinking a lot of dog shit. You got to step up the fucking ladder, son. You want to get anywhere near me, you gotta beat my champion. Kiss my ass.
Let's do this. Honest Red faces Egghead regardless, and then he can take on Jeff. But if he loses to Egghead, he can't talk about Egghead anymore.
That's right. I'm into it.
And if Egghead loses, Honest Red can just do what he wants.
I love it. No, I love it. All right. Sign it. Seal it. I'm into it. I have to bounce. I'm about to fucking die.
All right.
I love you guys. I love you,
Bye,
DP.
Jeff. See you next time.
Right.
Have a
Good night, everybody. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Even to Honest Red. All right. Night.
No. Oh. He's so drunk. So there was, we're probably going to wrap it up right now, but we had to get through that last little snippet there. And yeah, I'll probably wrap it up right now. Thanks for watching. We'll be back on Monday. We'll see all of you then. Have a good one.